Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the outer fringes of reality, where fact meets speculation, where paranoia meets illumination, where madness overlaps the fragile membrane of sanity. Do not be afraid. Open your eyes and open your minds to that region that lies beyond the realm of the known, that region we call the ExoZone. I am your host, Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth. And with me is my co-host and aficionado of all things fringe, the Neurotic Channel's Gary Beekler. Be kind to him. He has had a frustrating day. Gary, how are you, my friend?
I am so happy to be here with my friends. It's a frustrating day of dealing with stupid corporate BS and attacks, regular attacks on, thankfully I'm not on Twitter that much, but regular attacks of istophobia. We are amongst friends here, and that's a good place to be. But may I say something first?
Absolutely, please.
If you like what we do here, please consider subscribing to the channel here in the Harvey Zone. We face an uphill battle, especially with the subject matter of the ExoZone, which Doomcock and I would love to do more of, but YouTube is really stamping down on this kind of stuff on the algorithm. So we need you now more than ever to like and share the videos. If you could wait like a day and then share the video out, definitely subscribe, like, and share. I know many of you out there are watching who haven't done that, and that's fine. But if you like what we do, that's the most important part. Please, that will continue to support independent content like this, and that will keep us alive, because we are under attack every day from all sides with disingenuous, false arguments, lies, and I'm going to start inviting some of these people on my channel to bring their lies to. I'm going to give them a platform to see if they can bring some facts and show me some examples of anything you and I have done to back up some of these accusations.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So that is coming soon. But here, happy to be with the ExoZone, man.
Happy to have you here, brother. This is going to be a good one. Actually, one of my legionnaires called this to my attention. I believe it was Jamie. Jamie, if you are out there, thank you. Sent me all these links, and apparently, Gary, there have been a number of patents by the Navy, by the U.S. government, of basically technology so advanced, so astonishing that I pose the question. I don't know. We're going to debate that today, and I want to get the feedback of everybody in the chat. But does this sound like the kind of technology derived from crashed alien craft or traded alien craft, the kind that Bob Lazar is talking about? This stuff is amazing. And the thing that freaks me out, Gary, is that I thought, I was under the impression that patents, when you file them, you have to you can't just write up some kind of cool, hey, like this transporter that like dissolves people, it turns them into like, energy, it beams them, right? Like across the globe or whatever. And then like, get this, man, it puts them back together. Well, okay, you can draw a pretty picture of it, but can you make it work? I mean, I don't think you can patent something unless you can make a credible case. And I used to be, you had to have a working model or at least, evidence that it works. Well, we've got some amazing shit here. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with you in the chat. But first, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. We've got Chris Persia here, who's wrenching for us, along with Mary Ashmead, who's wrenching as always. Hail Mary, full of grace. We've got Glenn Saunders. Hello, Glenn. And Glenn, by the way, thank you, my friend, for the recent package that you sent me. I really, really appreciate it, my friend. In for fun, too, Demon Size Synthwave, Mage Grey Wolf, Alex James, Dave, Bob, Tippy Tail McKitty, War Taco, Mick Lally, Mr. Sharky MR, Abby O'Lace, Purple Lady, David Rayner, Alex James, Dragon Alpha, Apex Tyrannus, Dilbertson is here. Dilbertson's in the house. Bird Prey 5, D Artist Jewelry. Hello, D Artist Jewelry. May the horse be with you, she says. Did you? I've been having fun on Twitter lately, by the way. I've been
I've
having
noticed.
lots of fun with. I'll read some of those later. They were so about the space horsies. TM. It's pretty funny. Alistair Kane. Yes, they're doing a cavalry charge down the hull of a Star Destroyer that just came out of the water. Have you ever seen a horse try to gallop on wet metal? They should be bowling balls. Yes. And so many more, you guys. Thank you all for being here. Nick Robertson, Mira J, Stone Loki, Mark C. The usual suspects on the channel are here. Dave Bob himself, Carl Manvers, Illuminati, Alouvrian Imikara, Lori Roberts. God bless you all, and thank you for being here. I don't want to keep things held up any longer, Gary. I think I'm just going to get to the first issue of the day, if I could.
Issue.
The issue number one. This is a patent I'll just say the U.S. Navy was granted a patent on a theoretical aircraft resembling recently reported UFOs that could bend the laws of physics to fly through water, air, and space. It does so by creating a quantum bubble around the craft so it can achieve extreme speeds. Descriptions of the craft, very similar to recent UFO sightings by the U.S. Navy. And a letter from the U.S. Navy states that China is investing heavily in the tech. So here we go. A technology patented by an aerospace engineer working at the Naval Air Warfare Center Aircraft Division, NAWCAD, describes a hybrid craft capable of flying at breakneck speeds in the air, water, and even space using an unprecedented electromagnetic propulsion system. An examiner for the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office responded with skepticism to a report in the Drive talking about a patent on this technology, that such a craft exists, only to receive a personal letter from the chief technology officer of the U.S. Navy, who explained that Chinese researchers are investing significantly in the craft. So I'm going to go ahead and share. I'm going to try and share this screen with you guys so you can see a diagram of this patent. All right, let me see where am I? All right, here we go. Let's share a screen. Here we go. Okay, so you can see here a patent shows a theoretical spacecraft pictured above that alters the laws of physics to achieve unparalleled speeds and maneuverability. It is titled Craft Using an Inertial Mass Reduction Device. Lists Salvatore Cesar Paez, a NAWCAD engineer, as the inventor, and describes a mind-blowing technology that can engineer the fabric of our reality at the most fundamental level, thus affecting a physical system's inertial and gravitational properties.
Oh,
looks like a triangle to me.
It does.
That is absolutely bizarre, Gary.
It is, but we've seen a lot of those. Triangles, not that exact thing.
Yes,
but we have seen a lot of those in one of the most recent secure teams put out a couple of videos recently. And that one he got in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, which is the second segment of the video before last, where it shows two like boomerangs flying in formation over the, I don't know if you've seen that. It's fascinating. Yeah. That definitely looks like our stuff to me, flying in formation. But I mean, stuff taken from alien technology. Oh, maybe, because it was pretty quiet. It was hard to tell. There was a lot of wind, but
it's interesting. I am going to be I've got a lot of these patents to share with you, a lot.
Awesome.
And when you start going through all these levels of reality, Gary, looking at the preponderance of the evidence, you start to question whether or not this is captured alien technology that they are patenting. Because this is interesting. So the patent for this thing says a ship using this technology would be able to surround itself in a type of quantum field that subverts the laws of physics as we know them. That would theoretically allow the craft to move through air, water, or space without succumbing to any of the effects of thermodynamics, or in the case of water, hydrodynamics. Now, according to the drive that apparently broke this, and I'll be referencing them a little later, letters from the Navy to the U.S. Patent Office seem to suggest that tests of technology have already been conducted by this Paez, this Salvatore Cesar Paez, who holds other mind-bending patents, Gary, like a force field to fend off an incoming asteroid. So this Cesar Paez guy, he's a pretty smart guy, or he's got access to some amazing stuff and he's patenting all of it.
Yeah.
Now, this patent, originally applied for in 2016, it's only theoretical. The urgency of the Navy's desire for the approval of it coincides with an increasingly transparent attitude towards UFOs on the part of the U.S. military, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's amazing. Now, the amount of energy required to power such a craft equal, get this, Gary, equal, according to the patent, to the magnetic strength of some stars, is currently outside of the realm of possibility. However, taking into account yet another one of Paez's seemingly impossible patents granted in February, the room temperature superconductor, it would be feasible. Simply put, so he's got another patent, this guy, on a room temperature superconductor. Either this guy is a super genius, or he's got access to alien technology, or this is an episode of I Dream of Genies where she wanted to make her master the smartest man in the world. I don't know.
Yeah. And again, you can't just willy-nilly make patents on whatever the hell you want, otherwise
Not to have them
everybody would
granted.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is simply put, for those of you who don't know, a superconductor is basically any material that can transfer energy without losing too much power. I mean, the less power, the better. The less power lost in the transfer, the better. With the ultimate aim being a material that could transfer energy without losing any power. Now, normal conductors degrade over time. So a superconductor would be something that doesn't bleed energy, essentially. Now, the problem with superconductors, they've only been operational in the past under extremely low temperatures in controlled conditions. So in February, Mr. Paez's patent for a room temperature version stirred up a lot of interest. This concept enables the transmission of electrical power without any losses and exhibits optimal thermal management, no heat dissipation. So that means that could lead to the design of novel energy generation and harvesting devices with enormous benefits to civilization. Holy crap. This is some amazing stuff, Gary. What do you think about this?
Dude, I'm kind of blown away at this. This is I was aware of a couple of these patents, but I haven't really thought about it, to be honest with you. I haven't thought about the process it takes to get it approved, unless, I mean, okay, there's the possibility, because we cover all possibilities here, that the government has just completely lost the plot and is just incompetent as hell, and they're just like, stamp, okay. Which there's a percentage of that, but that can't really happen, because everybody would patent, just anything,
Right.
And I'm kind of blown away. I fully believe that our government has acquired a technology, alien technology, and there is something that happened recently that backs a lot of this up. Lou Elizondo came out on national television and said that they've done it. Tucker Carlson pressed him on that, And he said on national TV, he was asked, I'm paraphrasing, do we have possession of alien technology? And he said, yes. That was it.
Well, this is stuff I didn't know. You know, I'd heard vaguely that they had some kind of patent on the TR-3B, the triangle craft, but it's like, well, but holy shit. I mean, meticulously, piece by piece by piece, and we're going to examine all the pieces here on the ExoZone today, piece by piece by piece. This Salvatore Cesar Paez has basically designed Starfleet, and
yeah, did he patent it? Did he just patent Starfleet?
Basically. So
maybe he's just a huge Star Trek fan. He's trying to backdoor trademark it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe take over and do a better job than CBS. But
God, yes.
This is basically okay. Let's sum this up here. A craft that uses an inertial mass reduction device, which would be necessary to avoid smearing the pilot all over the cabin at these speeds. Just as I said earlier, a couple of ExoZones ago, or I've said all along. I mean, you've got to have some kind of gravity control in there, inertial dampeners or something to keep people from getting smeared all over the place, unless it's going to be a drone. Now, this ship would use a quantum bubble to defy laws of physics and allow the ship to travel at speeds of light in water, air, and space. The craft would engineer the fabric of our reality at the most fundamental level, according to Salvatore Cesar Paez, thus affecting a physical system's inertial and gravitational properties. And it would basically use room temperature superconductors to be able to keep enough energy in the system, supposedly enough of a magnetic field to rival that of a star. And descriptions of the ship, according to this article, are eerily similar to reports from the U.S. military of the Tic Tac ships flying through the skies at impossible speed. Now, I don't understand, and there's no explanation in this about China's investing heavily in the technology. Why the fuck would we be selling it to China? I don't understand that. I don't understand what that is. I don't know what that is. I have no answers. If anyone else in the chat has any answers, let me know. But I find that disturbing.
Disturbing. Greed. Just a short-sighted greed.
I don't understand it, dude. I don't understand it. I'm concerned. Okay. I'm concerned. But I'm intrigued. I'm absolutely intrigued by this. And I'm wondering what folks in the chat are saying. Straith Gamer says they are developing graphene as a room temperature superconductor. Interesting. Simon Wild says it doesn't apply to Mikey Spock as you can't patent wood. Well, that's very true. Nobody would want to either. No. I want to patent how to efficiently burn fucking wood that resembled Mikey Spock, but I don't know. I don't know.
So for all these patents, like you said, there has to be some form of, I've never applied for a patent. So I would imagine that you have to write something up that this is something that is possible. I don't think they're going to allow you to patent a time machine, for example, unless you have some thoughts on how you're going to build the time machine, which I'm sure somebody has, but other than he said quantum in there. So I
mean, getting a quantum field. So a quantum field, I'm trying to guess based on, and maybe the chat can help because we have the most educated chat in the world here, I think.
Way more educated than me.
All right. So in terms of quantum, a quantum field. So I'm asking, this is just my speculation off the top of my head. I haven't thought about this, but a quantum field would essentially be a field where, at the quantum level, we have things like superposition and we have things like probability clouds. Mm-hmm. So is it possible that when an object is surrounded by a quantum space where, you know, all probabilities are essentially in a cloud and have not resolved yet. Could that be a way to explain the insane ability of these things to stop, to accelerate on a dime without any kind of you know, ramping up or deceleration? You know what I mean? Like, you know, you've got the three states, you've got the yes or on, off, and then maybe on, maybe off, and maybe these different states are manipulable to allow this thing to exist in abrupt and odd ways that it can't exist in normal space. That's just my
That would that's the way it would have to perform. I mean, what we heard, we didn't see it. We only saw some of it, but with the Tic Tac UFO, the way that thing was moving, it was impossible, just based on normal physics. And this is the words of a very well trained, very intelligent pilot and radar operator. These two guys weren't dummies, and these things were breaking the laws of physics right in front of their face. So if if we somehow got our hands on one of these things, and we're not entirely dumb. How did Lazar put it? Like, we figured out how to turn it on, but it was like dropping something like a motorcycle in the 1800s or something. We could figure out how to turn it on, but we can't figure out how to, like, keep it going or something like that.
Okay.
I could see that. I could totally see that. But just how that thing needs to perform that pattern. I've always heard our technology was 20 years ahead, 30 years ahead, as far as, you know, what they've talked about. But this would be like godlike technology. And
it is now. In the chat, people are saying, well, utility patents require that it works. Design patents only have to be unique. So they may not have to actually show anything. Design patents are easier to obtain than utility patents, says Mike Drop.
God, that's such a waste of resources then. Because then a patent clerk, I mean, you know, patent clerks make a lot of money. That sounds like an insane waste of resources. So all they have to do is basically make the design and they okay it.
Well, I mean, so it's like, basically, I mean, they're saying it's kind of bullshit. Like it's fishing.
Yeah.
It's like a fishing expedition. Apex Tyrannus says quantum is ground-based physics, deals with quantum teleportation and quantum entanglement. That's all Doomcock. Well, that still seems pretty, you know, pretty entangled. I think it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing this out there.
No, that's what we talk about, all possibilities here.
C.R. Smith right now says there is something weird floating above downtown San Diego. Can you guys get us some photos? Anybody in San Diego seeing this something weird floating above downtown San Diego? We would love to break that news right now. So if you can send it to me or Gary, please do. Please do. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, get us some video or something. Shoot it to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Please. Angel Baby Card says patents are worth the paper they're written on, folks. Been writing them for 3 years. Well, okay, Angel Baby Cards. So there we go. Well, we'll see. I just want to go ahead and throw these out for you. I think it's very interesting that they're all by one guy. I think that's very, very odd. And but let's see. You know, we've got another one here. Navy's advanced aerospace tech boss claims key UFO patent is operable. This is from August of this year. And I'm going to go ahead and share this screen with you guys for a second, if I can.
I found a webcam on Shelter Island that's live right now in San Diego. So if it's, well, it looks like a plane. Is it over downtown San Diego?
They said downtown.
Yeah, I'm looking at downtown right now. So I don't know what the delay is on this, but
just a plane.
Yeah, because I mean, there's the airport's right next to downtown. I'm looking though. It's moving. The camera's moving, so I'm not seeing all of it.
Okay. All right.
But
well,
keep an eye on it.
We'll keep an eye on
anything, I'll let you know.
Yeah. In the meantime, we've got this article on the drive in the war zone. And here is a little bit more of a detailed kind of look at this patent. So we've got a resonant cavity inner wall. We've got an outside mold line skin, electrically charged. We've got microwave emitters on the front here, high frequency EM waves, a dielectric inner axisymmetric, and crew compartment and power plant in there. So this is an IMRD, microwave emitter configuration, cross-sectional side view. Wow. So this is part of the patent. Fairly interesting to me. What do you think, Gary? Any thoughts?
There's no doubt that this person spent a lot of time on this, thinking about it. Maybe he's a super genius and we're just not going to catch up to his brain. Those kind of people exist out there.
It's true. Or Mr. Paez or whoever is doing this may well be just a fictional identity. Them rating UFO technology, or like they're saying in the chat. I mean, this could be speculative, just hoping to get lucky and guess at whatever's driving the Tic Tacs, figuring that they will figure it eventually. But until that day, they're just going to try to patent every single possibility just in case.
Why not? I think yes. It is. Yeah, I have no way of knowing because, listen, I'm a dummy, so this stuff is beyond me. But I just think that's a huge waste of the patent clerk's time if they're just effing around. But I've heard that before too. But people have gotten lucky. And there's people who sit on patents. It's kind of like it's the same people. I forgot what the term is. The people who buy domain names. And remember when the .com thing was blowing up, people would buy up domain names and sell them off to people.
Sure.
This still has to be based on something. And quite frankly, the triangle is something we've seen a lot. Okay, this is a good shot of San Diego. I don't see anything in the sky.
Well, we're not seeing anything, folks. Sorry about that. But we are seeing a whole bunch of super chats here. I think I'll go ahead and get to some.
God, San Diego looks a little smoggy, but beautiful.
A little smog. The smogberry trees in downtown Burbank. Dr. Demento.
I was on Pico and Sepulveda when I was down there. I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm Pico and Sepulveda.
Isn't that perfect?
Yes.
I used to drive by there all the time, actually. Red Monarch with a $2 super chat. Hail Red Monarch, who says, "Hail Harvey, the Elder Overlord. Press the..." He coughs. Poor Red Monarch. He's always flying. He's a red flyer. He's a radio flyer, a little red wagon made flesh. Hail Red Monarch, and thank you, my friend. Josiah Clinch with a $2 super chat. Hail, my friend Josiah, who says, "DC, did you get a mystery box today?" I have not today, Josiah Clinch. I have not today, but I will need to go by the post office in the next few days. And I will absolutely grab that and let you know, brother. Thank you for sending that to me. Thank you for being here today. I hope you got the pictures I sent you, and also to your mom if you got them to her. Let me know. Barack A with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Barack. He says, "My fave show to listen to." Thanks, guys. Barack, thank you for listening to us, my friend. We are glad and proud to be your favorite. Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Oh, by the way, the alternate webcam is being jammed right now. The Cabrillo National Monument. Can I share it real quick? This is straight up being.
Please do. Let me get over there.
Being jammed.
Yeah, absolutely. Please share it.
The
ExoZone.
Look at that. That is jammed, baby.
So it's just locked.
Yeah.
So conspiracy buffs, ExoZoners, and friends, is it like this because they are trying to keep us from seeing something, or is it like this because of some kind of interference, say from a UFO's field?
Yeah. Or they
that's odd.
Yeah. They're zooming in on that's the Hotel del Coronado, which is haunted, by the way. One particular room. It's fabulous.
Ah,
Fabulous place.
well, it's
Uh,
still feeding something though, because I'm seeing motion in the background.
yeah. But it should be what's happening here is you're seeing two images layered on. Well, no, it's supposed to be back up a little bit, and it looks like it's zoomed in.
Uh-huh.
And because it's supposed to be
So they
back.
zoomed in to
They,
avoid showing the sky.
yep. And look at that. And maybe that's heat waves. Maybe they're so zoomed in that's heat waves.
Oh
Uh,
man.
wow. That's
Why
weird
did
because
they
the other
zoom
one
in
was,
like that?
yeah, that's a good question.
Cabrillo National Monument. Where is the monument?
The camera must be on the monument, which is out. It's on the opposite side near Shelter Island. I can't.
Interesting.
Or Point Loma. I can't remember, one of those two.
Very
It's a
interesting.
tourist spot, so I never went there.
Boy, it's messed up. It is jumping.
Yeah. But there you go. We're
That
being
is
jammed.
interesting. Weird stuff.
Weird stuff.
Weird, wild stuff. Thank you, Barack A. We will keep an eye out on San Diego just in case anything pops up. Dilbertson, hail Dilbertson with a 10-pound super chat. Thank you, Dilbertson. He says, hail Doomcock, praise Gary, salute the mods, and greetings to the best chat on YouTube. Yes, as always, rejoice it's the ExoZone. Are Doom Squirrels cryptids or one of Doomcock's experiments? Curses to Harvey. Yes, I have to say that the Doom Squirrel, Sabu, is an altered squirrel down here at the center of the earth. I was experimenting, as is my wont. I'm a mad scientist, and the Doom Squirrel has saber-toothed fangs, has some spines going down his back, and he'd be a perfect attack squirrel if he wasn't sadly insane. You know, it's trying to use Daffy Duck to attack.
Yeah.
It's just, chaos. I mean, it's just as likely to hit you with a cream pie as the enemy. So
Yeah.
I keep him around though, Yeah. He's all right. Down, Sabu. Down, damn you. Sabu. He's the dangerous squirrel. Thank you, Dilbertson. I am curses to Harvey. Curses to Harvey. Screw you, Dilbertson. Screw you. No, Dilbertson's our friend. Don't be like that, Harvey. Thank you, Dilbertson. Yeah, man. I'm kind of blown away by all this weirdness, and I've also got a UFO account to read later of somebody who was listening to us on the Inquisition when this happened.
Yes, I remember that. They said we can see a UFO right now.
Yes, and he said he got a crappy picture, and that's all he got. But we still have a picture, so I'll be trying to put that up as well.
Nice.
Thank you, Dilbertson. Illuminati with a $20 super chat. Hail Illuminati, who says, hail Gary and DC, and yes, even Harvey. On lunch now, we'll miss you live, but I wanted to suggest you check out Dark Journalist interviews with Joseph P. Farrell when you get a chance. Nazis and asteroids and UFOs, oh my. Well, Nazis and asteroids and UFOs, oh my. Joseph P. Farrell. We will take a look at that, Illuminati. We will take a look at that. A listener, viewer, technically, sent me also some stuff about the Illuminati. Gary sent me some documents that may or may not be the Illuminati. I'll have to we'll have to maybe talk about doing something like that later, but anyway, it's kind of cool. Illuminati, thank you so very much for that suggestion and for the super chat. Dilbertson, also, again, thank you for the very generous super chat. You guys are awesome, and thank you for being here this Thursday afternoon / evening, wherever you are. Bird of Prey 5 says, Kapla, ExoZone is the best zone. Hail, Bird of Prey 5, and thank you for that $2 super chat. Yes, ExoZone is the best zone. At least currently. We the Twilight Zone might rival us, but the Twilight Zone is gone. I mean, not since old what's his name, Jordan Peele, completely screwed the Twilight Zone. Now we're better, no doubt about it. We're definitely better.
Yeah.
Echo Base Network is here with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, my friends. He says, DC, did you get our Twitter DM? Rewrites are done and we are ready to move forward. Thoughts from both of you on RMB and Jeremy video.
I haven't seen it yet.
Robert Meyer Burnett. So you've not seen that either?
No, I haven't seen it.
I haven't either. I saw that they were doing something, and it was something about thoughts on. Geez, I can't. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I just posted what, today or yesterday. Yeah, I'll watch it later.
Something like that. I don't even know what the topic is, Echo Base Network. So I'm sorry, I can't oblige you with a comment. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. But RMB is pretty cool. I don't always agree with him, and Jeremy's awesome, as you know. So probably something pretty fun to watch. I'll look forward to seeing it.
RMB's part of the. Yeah, I don't agree with 75% of what he says, but he's one of the more rational voices, though. I mean, he's somebody you could talk to. He's somebody I could hang out with and chat with. And we're starting to see a lot of that turn around, but man, some people are gonna have to apologize. There's some apologies if they want to start coming over to the Fandom Menace, and I'm not gatekeeper or anything. Anybody's welcome, but if you've come out like hardcore attacking members by name and calling them mystophobes, you know, an apology would be in order. I think that would be respectful, and we could just, you know, say, okay, that's cool, fine, but just pop on over. And I'm talking directly to the people who made accusations by name, that kind of stuff. If you didn't, then, you know, whatever. Don't care.
What's phobes?
Istophobes. We're called racists, homophobes, you know, that kind of shit.
Like just across every ist.
Yeah. And it's blanket generalizations without watching any of the material and looking into the nuance of the argument. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the only kind of attack I get, is because like if you ever nobody's ever like cited actual textual video evidence of any of the shit that they say, and in fact there's ample evidence to the contrary, but they say it anyway, and then I destroy them. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Right, Freddie? Right, Plant Boy? Fuck you both. All right.
Yeah, that that one was terrible.
Yeah. So yeah. I saw you're saying RMB has said some stuff like that, or
no, but Collider made that deep fake George Lucas video and stuff, which I think was brilliant.
That was hilarious.
And maybe their attempt to pop on over, but Collider is definitely guilty of calling people out by name and certain things.
Yeah. This is like cheat sheet thing. Like came out and attacked me personally for my, you know, Spider-Man and Captain Marvel rumor video. And then I swear to God, not a week later, they had an article, Super Spider-Man to team up with Captain Marvel to fight the Sinister Six.
You know that's going to happen. When I heard you say that, I'm like, they are so going to do that. And if they weren't going to do it, they heard that and they were going to do it afterwards. Yeah. But no, that is right in line with what everything Disney is doing. Yeah. Absolutely. I believe that one 100%.
Yep. Gaslighting shills. That's what they are.
Yep.
Thank you, Echo Base Network. Yes, I got the Twitter DM. I just need to grab the stuff. Maybe send me an email too, if you would, Echo Base Network, with a link. I would appreciate that. Send it to, dictorvandoomcock@gmail.com. I would appreciate it. Yeah, and then I'll get on it. Servant of God 777. Wow.
Right.
777. God friended him with a $20 super chat. Hail, Servant of God 777, who says, rule of thumb, there's public tech and actual tech. Back in the 80s, my mother told me that military tech was easily 50 to 70 years ahead of the public stuff. Add in rate of advancement and you get alien-looking stuff. Very sage, Servant of God. Yeah. Gary, you said this much earlier, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
You've been on that. I can't disagree with that. I think you're quite right. That's interesting. Let's go to this other article. Okay. So, let's see. So this is from the Drive, and they're talking about they have several active Freedom of Information Act requests with the Department of Navy to pursue more information relative to the research that led to the patents for these exotic craft and energy sources and so on, superconductors. As those were being processed, they've been digging through the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office's public patent application information retrieval database to get as much context for the patents as possible. So in doing so, the Drive claims that they've come across documents that suggest, by the Navy's own claims, that two highly peculiar Navy patents, the room temperature superconductor and a high energy electromagnetic field generator, may in fact already be in operation in some manner. The inventor of the Navy's most bizarre patent, the straight out of science fiction sounding hybrid aerospace underwater craft, describes that craft as leveraging the same room temperature superconductor technology and high energy electromagnetic fields to enable its unbelievable speed and maneuverability. If these two technologies are operable, according to the Navy, could this mean this hybrid craft may also be operational or nearly operational? At the heart of these questions, they're asking, what does operable mean? Now, in most patent applications, applicants have to assert proof of a patent's enablement, or the extent to which the patent is described in such a way that any person familiar with similar technologies or techniques would be able to understand it and theoretically reproduce it. So that's a different standard. You know, like Gary, like on a practical patent, you have to have a working model or an actual step-by-step instruction on how to do it. But with these, it's enough to say that the patent is described with sufficient detail that somebody with a certain level of knowledge could theoretically reproduce the effects or the device in the patent as described. Oh. So in these patent documents, again, the inventor Salvatore Paez, the Naval Air Warfare Center Aircraft Division's patent attorney, Mark O. Glut. Mark O. Glut. That sounds like a phony name, doesn't it? And the U.S. Naval Aviation Enterprises Chief Technology Officer, Dr. James Sheehy, all assert that these inventions are not only enabled, but operable.
Dr. James Sheehy, sorry.
Dr. James Sheehy and Marco Glut. Hey, Marco Glut. We've got a glut of technology. We're patenting. I know. So the Drive reached out to a patent attorney named Peter Milnick, Mlynek. Boy, these names.
I was waiting for it to be Mike Hunt.
Well, that comes later. I think that's what it translates to in Russian, which leads me to suspect the Russian bot. Yeah. So Milnick said that the terms operable or operability are not common in patent applications, but there's little doubt that the use of the term is meant to assert that these inventions actually work. And this is what this gentleman said as a quote.
Okay.
Generally, patent applications are rejected on the basis of enablement more frequently than for operability. The Patent Office rejects patent applications based on enablement because the patent attorney did not describe the invention fully, because either the patent attorney did a sloppy job or the patent attorney caved to the client's pressure to disclose as little about the invention as possible. Operability/operative, on the other hand, means that the invention actually works. From what I've seen, operability rejection comes up in cases where the patent attorney does not really understand the science or technology behind the invention. In many cases, the rejection based on inoperability is a kind of way of telling the patent attorney that the attorney has no idea what he or she is talking about. So, all of those technologies Salvatore Paez has created: the room temperature superconductor, the high energy electromagnetic field generator, which we still have not gotten to, but we will in a minute, and the hybrid aerospace underwater craft are inventions of Salvatore Cesar Paez. So I think that's fascinating, and apparently he's a real person. He presented a paper at the 2019 American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics SciTech Forum in San Diego, where the UFO is currently hovering over downtown, by the way. We just can't see it.
It's cloaked.
It's cloaked. We're going to get to that too, Gary. I've got that.
Yeah.
No, I do.
I believe you. No, do you think this
here.
guy's like Da Vinci? Like we've got our own Da Vinci on our hands here?
Or he's a front. He's a beard.
Yeah.
Or something.
A beard.
Well, you know, for a guy with a big head and almond shaped eyes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
An alien beard.
Yes. Ernie Ermp is actually his name. Ernie Ermp. Ernie Ermp.
Great.
But so in the Navy's, anyway, he states that the research that led to all of these technologies was funded by a single naval innovative science and engineering basic and applied research program titled the High Energy Electromagnetic Field Generator. Now, in this patent, they claim that the radical abilities of propulsion and maneuverability are made possible thanks to an incredibly powered electromagnetic field that essentially creates a quantum vacuum around itself that allows it to ignore aerodynamic or hydrodynamic forces and remove its own inertial mass from the equation. Thus, the ability to generate such high-frequency electromagnetic waves is key to the alleged abilities of this theoretical craft to soar nearly effortlessly through air and water at incredible speeds with little to no resistance or inertia, just like in space. So atmosphere is no problem. Water is no problem. It simply generates its own pocket of reality, essentially. It's an astonishing thing.
Yeah.
And during the Drive, this website, good website looks like, they discovered as they were going through these documents a record of an interview requested by Paez in the Navy as part of the appeal process, dude, for the patent's initial rejection, Gary.
Dang.
Now, during this telephone interview, which took place on July 10th, 2018.
Hang on a second. Sorry. I got somebody at my door. Hang on. Sorry.
Oh. Well, I'm going to read some super chats then. Hold on just a sec, folks. We will. This is super cool stuff here.
Sorry. Back.
Oh, okay. All right. Where was I? Where was
Apologies.
I?
I thought.
Okay. No. This is so. Get this. So they had a telephone appeal because apparently the patent got initially rejected. So Paez and the Navy general or operative, whatever, did this phone interview. And during it, Paez and the Navy's attorney presented evidence that the high energy electromagnetic field generator was in fact operable and was a formative invention. It's in its incipient stages. And here we go. We've actually got a little bit of evidence here. Kind of what the document they're referencing. I love this. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Hold on just a sec. Let me go ahead and jumping around here. All right. So there we go. We got Mark Glutt, Thomas Doidi, and Salvatore Cesar Paez, and you can see. So interview July 10th, 2018, telephonic. Exhibit shown or demonstration conducted, yes. A proposed addition to the specification in an article by Mr. Paez entitled The High Energy Electromagnetic Field Generator. And it has right down here, Mr. Glutt and Mr. Paez presented information relating to the operability of the invention. The examiner noted that there were no art rejections and indicated that a substitute specification, including the information provided, be included in that specification. Mr. Pice noted that the invention was a formative invention in its incipient stages. So there we go.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is very interesting, especially that they're claiming it's operable. So what do you think? I'm going to go to the chat here in a minute, see what everyone else thinks, but I don't know. I think
like
that's
your
pretty
beard
interesting.
theory that they have. Yeah, I don't know. Operable and how at what stage? Like you can actually turn it on and an LED comes
Well, they're
on.
saying
Or...
in an initial iteration of the thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I am.
That's like infinite improbability drive. He's got like the heart of gold
Exactly.
right there.
Exactly. Gonna turn into a whale and fall into another dimension. I think it's interesting. I think it's very interesting. And yeah, I don't know
Who
what
found all
does.
these? Did somebody send you all these? So somebody had to find these, right?
Yes. Yes.
And I don't even know how you go about searching them. And that's fascinating. That there must be some really interesting patents out there.
Yes, it's there really are, and it's just I don't know what to think of this, Gary. I mean,
They
does
got
that mean that they are actually more advanced than they're letting on? Even it was basically my Legionnaire Jamie Folds who sent me these things, compiled them and sent them to me. Thank you, Jamie, very much.
Unless I'm misunderstanding, if we can turn something on that can mess with reality, even in a pocket, that's a little scary. Because we half joke about the Mandela effect every time CERN fires itself up.
Yeah.
And I mean half joke. What would something like that do? I mean, how do we know that we don't like just fold reality in on itself if we're monkeying around with something like that? I don't know. Maybe I'm sure they have that figured out if it works. But that would be, again, technology of the gods.
Yes. It's absolutely bizarre. And but this guy's come up with the whole package. What are the odds of one guy coming up with
impossible?
Yeah, I mean, in a patent for this thing, this same guy has come up with a technology to create a force field, just like on the Enterprise. One that could generate, quote, an impenetrable defensive shield to sea and land, as well as space-based military and civilian assets, protecting these assets from such threats as anti-ship ballistic missiles, radar evading cruise missiles, top attack for main battle tanks, and counteracting the effects of solar-induced coronal mass ejections, or defending critical military satellites.
See, that's a real threat. And
Yes.
the one thing we know the military will do, they will consider any possibility if they can apply it to a weapon or defending anything we have. They have gone to great lengths to test things illegally and legally in the past to try to further the technology of weaponry, defense of our troops. Yeah, so I can see the military will definitely consider all crazy possibilities.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's astonishing. I mean, this high energy electromagnetic field generator has a shell composed of embedded polycrystalline ferroelectric ceramic material capable of exhibiting strong piezoelectric effects, an electrostatic generator, a nuclear fission pebble bed reactor, a thermoelectric generator, and an electric motor. And there's a protrusion at the top to generate a, quote, cyclonic plasma shield, which would greatly amplify the produced electromagnetic field intensity. Pais claimed in this 2019 presentation at the AIAA SciTech Forum, says the device could even serve as an optimal asteroid deflector to save the world from 99942 Apophis, a 370 millimeter diameter near-Earth asteroid, which has been predicted to come dangerously close to our planet in 2029
Yep.
and 2036.
Yep.
So here is again a graphic from the presentation. And look at that. Electron pairing is the keystone of superconductivity. Without it, physical mechanism cannot stand. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is real stuff, folks.
Yep.
This is,
and we should totally do a show. I mean, we say this, it would require a ton of work, but we should do a show on all the tunneling, Denver airport, all the tunneling. I believe that our government is aware of a lot of dangers that we're not aware of, and that they have been preparing for some, but it's not for everybody. It's not for the entire population of this country or any other country. No. It's for the elites, for certain connected peoples. I think they have, I know this sounds crazy, but crazier things have happened, but they've been tunneling, which would, just say that the SMOD is coming, the sweet meteor of death, and which we just talked about. I think they prepare for that stuff. They don't talk about it a lot, but it is the two dangers that are immediate that could happen while we're on this live stream are a meteor coming down or a coronal mass ejection that could just either wipe out the face of the earth, or at the very least cause an electromagnetic pulse that fries all our technology, which puts us back in the 1800s. Telegraph overnight. These are things that could happen today.
Yep, it is. And just look at this thing, Gary. Look at this. Look at what they're talking about. At high temperatures, RTSC, it is only the moderately strong nonlinear electron-photon lattice vibrations interactions that can induce electron pairing. Given the fact that a superconducting condensate is an electrically charged superfluid, and that the foundational structure of the cosmos, the vacuum energy state, is superfluid in nature, and he references the MIT study that suggests this, it may be possible to render ordinary matter as superconducting via electrodynamic manipulation. And then down here's when they're talking about the EM energy flux values achieved with the concept at hand can be used in the design of space systems, which could deflect, redirect, and or destroy asteroids, such as Apophis, on possibly dangerous trajectory close to Earth in 2029, 2036.
Wow.
So, yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
That is 10 years from now, folks.
Yes. This thing is, I mean, everybody talks about it, and so this is not woo woo. This is
Yeah, we should be preparing for this shit,
woo-woo, folks. And yeah, I mean, knowing human beings, we're just gonna kind of screw around with this stuff until it's right on our ass, and then we're gonna be like, why didn't we prepare for this? And it's going to be because, nobody believes in science anymore. Fake news. Right.
No, science has gone down the toilet.
Yeah.
It really has.
So
it's politicized like everything else.
Well, and yet there are facts in science that, if we stop paying attention to science, then we're basically dead.
We're done. If there's any of our civilization left, that's what what our epitaph will be.
Exactly. Fake news. And it'll just be. Matches Burn says this is all theoretical science. It seems plausible given what we've learned about quantum mechanics. However, it's fascinating. I mean, this is not hoax. This is not like some kind of stuff in the globe. I mean, this is stuff that is filed with the patent office. We see the stuff, we see the documents. This is a guy, this Pais guy has actually presented this stuff at technical forums and so on. So yeah, I think it's fascinating.
It is. It's fascinating. It's good to know that somebody's working on this stuff. It sounds like that he's all alone though, or he's the only one who's got the gumption to go and patent
He
it
may
all.
be the only one that's smart enough to see it, or he may be a beard for aliens. It's quite possible.
Yeah.
Generial one sounds like confirmation of the electric universe theory if the patent works.
Yeah. I was
You know?
thinking about that. And
Yeah,
I don't know much about it, but that's something that
fascinating
yeah.
stuff. Fascinating stuff. Apex Tyrannus says, yep, science is everything. Everyone needs science education. We can never have too many STEM PhDs, people. Get in
No.
school for STEM or push your kids to do it. We need to turn the ship around ASAP.
Yeah.
I am all for more science. Absolutely for more science. No question about it. Some more super chats. Rowan Mangion with a $2.99 Australian super chat. Thank you, Rowan. Says, sounds like the fighter craft from SG1. Does kind of. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, this is amazing stuff. We haven't even gotten to some of this stuff. The invisibility cloak. I have to talk about that before we wrap this up. Echo Base Network with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Echo Base Network, who says, have you guys seen leaked alien tech of the military being able to bend light and camouflage, making soldiers almost invisible like the Predator? Well, actually, yeah, that's kind of what we're going to talk about in just a little bit here, Echo Base Network. But yeah, it's I have Australian friends who have been writing me saying the Predator is real and he's Australian. So apparently Australia is working on it right now. Thank you, Echo Base Network. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for the super chat. Mark C with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Mark C. Says, went down a Bob Lazar rabbit hole. Watched Joe Rogan and the Netflix documentary. Fascinating. Thank you, Mark, for the $5 super chat. And yeah, Bob Lazar is a rabbit hole. You've gone down that rabbit hole yourself, Gary.
Yes, many, many times. It's been an obsession of mine. I think the guy's really his credibility is he's never made a cent off of anything. He talked about it in the documentary. The money he was given for the documentary, he gave it to his local school.
Wow,
he
really?
makes enough. Well, he makes enough money for one. He's a pretty damn good scientist and engineer, and he's got his own lab and stuff. And I'm sure he makes tons of money. Plus, he lives in Michigan, so it's not like high rent.
Right.
And he's never gone on the circuit. He disdains that. He doesn't like. He was a huge skeptic before all this, and I think he maintains a lot of that. I think he, thinks a lot of it's crazy, and we don't know all the info, by the way. In the documentary, they go as far as going out into the woods and he talks privately to Jeremy Corbell, and it's all about possibly having a sample of element 115,
right.
which I totally believe he has. And why not? Because that's how you back up your argument. If somebody ever does come after you and threatens your life, that's your bargaining chip right there. So I think that's why he has it.
Well, Mark C also says, anticipating you, I guess, Gary, with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Mark, again. He says, room temperature superconductor, element 115, anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fascinating. James Villanueva says, the Predator ate my Vegemite.
But it didn't eat my baby.
No, the dingo
ate my baby, and then the Predator ate the dingo.
Cloaked.
It's cloaked. Hey, Bruce. The Predator's name is Bruce, by the way, to avoid confusion. Yes. I love Australia. If the Predator was anywhere, it would be in Australia, looking for giant deadly spiders.
Oh man, those spiders are scary.
Oof, F that.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, it's spooky. Dilbertson says they're the Stargate fighter looking craft. What if Stargate story really was planted to seed public awareness? Would make Wormhole X meta. I'd like to live in a world where that's true. I guess I would. I don't know. Hostile aliens coming through and a secret defense force would kind of bother me. But yeah, that would. We may well live in that world.
Bad.
Yeah, we may well. Echo Base No, okay, you already read. I read that one. Thank you, Mark C, for both of those $5 and $2 super chats. Norwegian Kryptonian with a NO22 NOK. Is that Norwegian
crown?
crowns? Yeah. Thank you, Norwegian Kryptonian. Well, it says Norwegian. Duh. I'm so dumb. Norwegian Kryptonian. Thank you, my friend. Says, OMG, they found the craft Mike Zero arrived in. Is he from out
Star
there?
Wars content? This is Mike Zero.
I'm
really excited about this latest Rise of Skywalker trailer. I got to get his cadence down. He's got a cadence.
He's got a cadence.
He's fascinating. You want to talk about a rabbit hole? Start watching Mike Zero videos and you can't stop. He like hypnotizes you into watching his videos. I think the whole bulletin board is part of some op. It's there's something in the background. It turns you into the Manchurian Candidate or something.
Yeah, that's funny. I remember early on I was accused of being Mike Zero.
Yeah,
I was Mike Zero. I don't know why. I have no idea why.
Well,
that was funny. And then they thought they thought I was you. They thought I was everybody but me. It's a funny thing.
We're sitting here talking to ourselves. Which is what we're actually doing.
Well, I have been known to do that time to time, but
I do it all the time. But that's getting old.
Okay. Peter Hansen with a 20 I think it's DKK, Danish kroner. Thank you, Peter Hansen, 20 Danish kroner, I'm going to say. And he says, keep being awesome, you fantastic people. Thank you, Peter. We certainly will, with your help. All of you guys showing up and helping us do the ExoZone every Thursday. It's easy to be fantastic with you guys. Seriously, you are you make it easy. Like Fleetwood Mac makes love and fun. You make being fantastic possible.
You make streaming fun.
Streaming fun, indeed.
That sounds
Mike Zero is a Disney op, says Brother Malachi. I don't know anything. Captain Opinion says Mike Zero equals MK Ultra.
Yes.
See, I don't know. I've never really watched the guy, so I don't know. I don't know much about him, honestly. I don't have anything. I certainly don't have anything against Mike Zero. I don't know him. Thank you, Peter Hansen, very much for that. John McGee with a $2 super chat. Thank you, John. Says, sounds like Star Trek. That's right. Space, the final frontier. Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does. Let's go continue on this article. Let me see if there's anything else in here that I wanted to talk about. Many readers have also questioned whether or not Salvatore Cesar Paez is in fact a real person. So in our search for information about the elusive inventor, they found mentions of him in one of his alma mater's class notes updates. Says Paez obtained his undergraduate degree in 1990 and a graduate degree in 93 in mechanical engineering. And it says he obtained his PhD from Case Western Reserve University in 1999. So there you go. And we also have an alleged photograph of the elusive Salvatore Paez. So I'm sure you guys want to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up just in case. But is he still a beard? He may be real, but is he still a beard? I don't know. Let's see. So there he is, the super genius. And apparently, as you can see here, Navy Chief Technology Officer claims Paez's room temperature superconductor is operable. How about that?
But is his temperature room temperature? Because he's an android or something.
He might be sent from the future to save humanity.
Maybe.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know, but it's very odd. So he, in his 2019, again, the same AIAA presentation, he said, the achievement of room temperature superconductivity represents a highly disruptive technology capable of a total paradigm change in science and technology, adding that its military and commercial value is considerable. So, yeah, it's his room temperature superconductor patent was rejected because the examiner said that the disclosed invention is inoperable and therefore lacks utility, that no assertions of room temperature superconductivity have currently been recognized or verified by the scientific community. So it was rejected. However, once again, Dr. James Sheehy stepped in, wrote a letter to the U.S. Patent and Trade Office, personally vouching for the room temperature superconductor, going so far as to declare that it is, quote, operable and enabled via the physics described in the patent application. So there you go. Wow. And here is a copy of the letter. This website is outstanding, by the way. You guys should check it out if you're interested. Let me go ahead and share that with you. There it is. And there is the signature of the elusive and seemingly fictional Mr. Sheehy, who apparently does
That's
actually
the beard right
exist.
there.
Yeah,
Mr.
And I am from planet Wulu. I am Mr. Sheehy.
I am Mr. Sheehy.
You will call me Ernie Erp. Ernie Erp. There you go. John McGee. Yes, it does sound like Star Trek, my friend. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Andrew Shahan. Hail Andrew with a €5 super chat. Andrew, one of my Legionnaires and one of my friends. Hail Andrew. He says he's Cochrane. He's Zephram Cochrane.
Zephram Cochrane.
Yeah, he is.
Well, which version?
The good
original
one. The original, not
the original trilogy, or the
played by James Cromwell.
Yeah, drunken
that
idiot.
Was bullshit. It was dumb. I don't like that movie. I never liked that movie. I know people like it. I don't like it. I never did. I think it's full of plot holes and it retcons Star Trek, and it's just
I feel the same way about First Contact as I do about Star Trek 2009. At the time, I loved it. Then I saw the repercussions it had on the rest of Star Trek, and I went, "Oh, that was bad."
Oh, it's so bad. I hate that the Vulcans were in space before humanity, and that they were so far advanced. And everywhere we're going in Enterprise, they've gone before. To Boldly Go, or Vulcans have gone before. Big fucking deal. My God, how boring.
Yeah.
You know, with them watching over us and seeing, do we fuck it up? That was a terrible, terrible, terrible decision. Idiotic and awful. Awful. It just ruined any early Star Trek episodes. Just took away all the sense of adventure and mystery. If mankind had been out there all alone, going out there, not knowing any alien species, not knowing what they're going to find, man, that would have been exciting instead of this shit. God,
being little kids and their parents are taking them out. Yeah.
Yes. On safety wheels, on training wheels. God almighty, what the most colossally bad Star Trek decision in history up to Les Moonves. Other than that, it just,
I wonder if Isaac's kind of a troll of that.
I don't know. Maybe. I would like to think so.
There is a lot of trolling in that show.
Is there?
Star Trek that we don't even realize. And wait until next season.
Oh,
troll,
God,
troll.
I can't wait. Servant of God 777 with another $5 super chat. Thank you, Servant of God. He says a quantum field would be easily influenced by thoughts. Proper interface allows for pure, in a word, shenanigans. Interesting. So you could kind of control things at the speed of thought, eh? Kind of turn left, turn right, go up, go down.
That'd be terrible for me.
Why?
If you have ADHD and you're controlling things, and then like a squirrel comes by, or a pretty light, or a pretty girl, you're
Serpentine shell. You'd be going serpentine. You'd be impossible to hit. You'd be impossible to follow, sir. That's what we need. ADHD pilots. Perfect way to achieve our aim, sir. Thank you, Servant of God 777 for that. Both those super chats, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bless you.
Bless you. Yes, bless you, my son. Mark C with a $5 super chat. Again, thank you, Mark. He says, I wanted to pursue 2 patents for propulsion systems. Looks like I'm pursuing the one where a large blue animal accesses a network of mushroom spores. Good. Go ahead and do it. Then CBS can't sue you because,
Dude,
you
patent that, please.
yeah, go for it, Mark. Go for it. Yeah, we need a large blue spacefaring tardigrade who accesses a network of mushroom spores.
Well, if the writers were smart, which they weren't, they could have gone to these patent things and just ripped off all of these.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not trademarked for entertainment, and that stuff sounds a lot better than stupid mushroom drone. Oh, that's so dumb.
Pathetic idiots. Pathetic idiots. Yeah. So, Sheehy in that letter.
I'm 12 years old. I know.
I know. Sheehy.
So
Sheehy says he says he is well versed. He's telling the Examiner for the trademark office that he's well versed in the generation of electromagnetic fields, high temperature superconductivity, and physics in general. And in the last line, he says, quote, that I declare that all statements made herein of my own knowledge are true, and that all statements made on information and belief are believed to be true. And further, that these statements were made with the knowledge that willful false statements and the like so made are punishable by fine or imprisonment or both under 18 USC 1001. So he knows that you cannot lie in something like this, and he has made the statement. He has made the statement.
Oh, see, that's what I was asking. I mean, you can't be willy-nilly about this stuff. So you got to you have to carefully word every document so you're not lying, or they're just not prosecuting it. But yeah, I don't know why. It seems like an awful lot of trouble to go through something you didn't believe worked, at least.
Right.
Right? I mean, yeah. Is he just a bored billionaire that just wants to sit around and make patents all day because he's got OCD or something? It's like, patents. Got to definitely make patents.
Right.
Driver,
So, I mean, this is this is some real stuff.
Yeah.
So right here in all of these, they're meticulously tracing the history of the approval of this patent. So I know people in the chat were saying, well, anybody can patent a conceptual thing. Well, here you've got officials in the government, in these Navy programs, swearing under oath that these are operable, viable technologies. So yeah, this is fascinating stuff, folks. And I'm really happy to be able to present this to you guys. Gary, I mean, what do you say? I mean, this is amazing shit.
I was very skeptical, but when it comes to not skeptical. I was just like, they're just patents. I always was under the impression that you could just file one. It wasn't that hard, but I didn't realize how hard it was and how many there were. And it's certainly, I'm no expert, but it looks pretty convincing. Like maybe I would lean, since there's not many pictures of this guy, I would lean towards him possibly not being a real person and him being a front for the government of some kind, or some billionaire tech something or other that doesn't want to be traced, or some Chinese operation. Cannot discount that either. And working on, finding their way to finagle American patents, which I don't know how that works internationally, though. I don't know what that would make a difference for. But yeah, it's a possibility. And that's what we look over here. We go over stuff that most people won't, or the UFO community won't talk about anymore because they're too busy squabbling over the Tic Tac and calling each other names and stuff. It's really gotten bad.
Yeah, is it really?
Yeah, it's very
a lot of crap going on there.
Yep, they're fools, straight up. They make, I mean, it doesn't help at all. I mean, again, you don't want to gatekeep in ufology. There should be a place for everyone as long as you're respectful. But there's certain people in there that make it impossible for anybody to take this legitimately. Who's a normie? A lot of steps have been made in the right direction, but every time they do that, it's an op. It's some kind of an op, and it certainly could be. But there's so much controversy right now that you think the Tic Tac thing would be the thing where we were kind of all waiting for, and we still remain. That's the lesson we learn in The Expanse and so many other stories, that when we're facing a life-changing thing, a paradigm shift in for all humanity, we're still going to fight. We're still just going to fight. We'll find shit to fight over.
We will. But I've got something here, kind of the missing piece of the equation, Gary, that I want to go ahead and share with you all. And this is super cool. Okay.
All right.
This is super cool. Okay. I'm going to try and share my screen here. Okay. Get this, brother. High frequency gravitational wave generator. Look at this.
Wow.
Look at this. So a high frequency gravitational wave generator, including this is a patent. This is the actual from Google Patents. Okay. It is classified B64G1 409 unconventional spacecraft propulsion systems. Now I'll pull up the images in a minute, but look at this. A high frequency gravitational wave generator, including a gas filled shell with an outer shell surface, microwave emitters, sound generators, and acoustic vibration resonant gas field cavities. The outer shell surface is electrically charged and vibrated by the microwave emitters to generate a first electromagnetic field. The acoustic vibration resonant gas-filled cavities each have a cavity surface that can be electrically charged and vibrated by acoustic energy from the sound generators, such that a second electromagnetic field is generated. The two acoustic vibration resonant gas-filled cavities are able to counterspin relative to each other to provide stability, and propagating gravitational field fluctuations are generated when the second electromagnetic field propagates through the first electromagnetic field. So, how's about them apples? Dang. Look at that. So we've got like this kind of counter spinning two fields generating through a field. I assume then that determines direction of propulsion.
Yeah.
But then coupled with an inertial dampener and all this other technology, this would be how they would maneuver around.
That is crazy.
Look at that.
Yeah. I'm blowing it up. I have to look at it on the other end. Here we go.
And here we have a history of the application. 2/14/2017 application filed by the Secretary of Navy. Priority to certain assigned to the Department of the Navy. Publication. Application granted in 6/18/2019. Application active status.
So that was active. June of this year.
Yeah. Look at that.
These things are okay. So this is like happening. We are in yeah.
Yes, Gary. Yes. This is not like,
well, it's not like a few years old or something like that. Yeah.
Woo-woo. You talk about woo-woo stuff. This is a non-woo-woo ExoZone. I'm just expressing, I mean, we are expressing opinions that could potentially be woo-woo in terms of, well, did they get this off of alien technology or whatever? That's speculative, but this is reality.
Yeah.
So, you know, I am, yeah, I'm fascinated.
We are either about like on the precipice of a leap in technology, kind of like, you know, the late 40s, mid 50s, which was a leap in technology our civilization had never seen before.
Yes.
We advanced more in 50 years than we had in the previous 1,000. You know, I mean,
yes.
And we might be on the edge of that once again. What's right there. 1020 or 1024 that's today.
Yeah.
So that's application status is active. So
Right.
this
It's
is
as of today, the
as of today
application
it's
status
active.
is
Okay,
active. Yeah.
cool. And then it expires on March 4th,
No, it's
2030.
adjusted
Sorry, adjusted
oh,
expiration.
okay. So
Yeah,
until 2038.
yeah, 2038.
Interesting. Interesting. So
That's cool.
basically, we've got a high frequency gravitational wave generator by Salvatore Cesar Paez. Now, what are the odds that this guy
There's this
has
guy
done
is a
all
front.
this stuff?
Straight
He's a
up.
beard.
He's a beard, he's a front, he's
Come on.
there's no way. This guy should be a billionaire then. He should
Yeah.
be beyond anybody, because you would want somebody would attempt to make a practical application of something, of any of these, because again, you would rule the world if you can make any of this stuff work, like feasibly.
Right. I mean, they're never going to let this go. Come on. No fucking way. And here is another one. This is a Google patent for that craft using an inertial mass reduction device. And this says a craft using an inertial mass reduction device comprises of an inner resonant cavity wall, an outer resonant cavity, and microwave emitters. Just like we had described earlier. Here is another graphic, however, that I think is interesting. Wow. Again, unconventional spacecraft propulsion systems. There's a classification for this in the patent office. The microwave emitters create high-frequency electromagnetic waves throughout the resonant cavity, causing the resonant cavity to vibrate in an accelerated mode and create a local polarized vacuum outside the outer resonant cavity wall. Yep. And then, like I said, we've got this. Well, let me see. We've got another patent here I want to show you guys. Hold on. I'm going between 50 million windows. My apologies.
That's okay.
Okay, so we've got the plasma compression fusion core. Oh man, this is weird, wild stuff.
Weird stuff, yeah.
So
what's it makes some kind of field outside of the.
Look at this. So
is it like a little pocket, a gravity pocket or something, or
well, I mean, we've already seen look, this Salvatore Paez
again
has basically laid out the future on these pages if it's not bullshit. And yet these people who are in the Navy are attesting to this, to the United States Patent and Trade Office, saying that they have working models in a lot of cases of these things. So look at this abstract. And I mean, and I could even go down into the nitty gritty. I mean, on all of these patents, there's stuff down here. I'll do that in a sec, but look at this. A plasma compression fusion device, which includes a hollow duct and at least one pair of opposing counterspinning dynamic fusors. The hollow duct includes a vacuum chamber disposed within the hollow duct. Each dynamic fusor has a polarity of orifices and an outer surface which is electrically charged. In combination, the pairs of dynamic fusors create a concentrated magnetic energy flux and electromagnetic radiation within the vacuum chamber, whereby the concentrated magnetic energy flux compresses a mixture of gases that are injected through the orifices to the vacuum chamber, such that a plasma core is created, like the core on the Enterprise. And the electromagnetic radiation heats the plasma core while producing magnetic fields while produced magnetic fields confine the plasma core between the dynamic fusors, such that when an additional mixture of gases is introduced to the plasma core through the orifices, an energy gain is created. So this is fusion, folks. Thermonuclear fusion reactors with magnetic or electric plasma confinement. And here we have what is claimed. and background on what thermonuclear fusion entails. Look at all this.
Damn.
So this would be like the generator. This would be the warp coils, the plasma coils. Look at this.
Damn.
So, yeah. How about that?
It's what is it? That one went active on September 20. Yeah, he's working on this stuff. I wonder what he's got going right now.
I don't know. Although this patent is still pending, which is amazing that this stuff is available in public, public scrutiny.
Yeah.
So I guess my question to you and to the chat. So if we have a ship equipped with all of these things, with the force shield, with its own internal dampening systems, with its own kind of electromagnetic field around it that renders it impervious to basically being in our space. So if they're out there, let's say that a ship like this inserted itself between Apophis and the Earth and threw up a shield. Now, would Apophis knock this thing out of the way like a goddamn billiard ball? Or would this thing, being in its own kind of pocket of space, so to speak, without its own inertia and gravity, simply knock the damn thing, regardless of its mass, out of the way? That's what I want to know. What do you guys think?
I think it might knock the thing out of the way. I'm trying to think. So figure, okay, hang on. I'm looking this at a blowed up angle. So is that on the left there? What's figure 3? Is figure 3 supposed to be?
I think it's the lampshade that Salvatore put over his head at the party. It was very funny. No, I don't know. Figure 3. I wonder if they have like a discrete. Look at all this. See, look at all those numbers that were on it. Look, they're all here in the summary.
Yep.
Look at this thing. This is so detailed. Look at this equation. And then we get to what is claimed. What are they saying this thing does? And it's all here. Oh. I think this is astonishing.
Yeah. I mean, again, if this is BS, this is, man, they are taking, whew, he must be just have all the time in the world. He must be traveling in time to make all these.
Mean, do you understand? Also, this is fusion, not fission. I mean, fusion is an entirely different thing. Fission is like what we normally do with nuclear bombs and things. We split the atom. This is fusion. Remember when we were talking about when they used to have that big thing about cold fusion is like the aim that fusion, nuclear fusion would be a much, much, much more efficient means of energy production. Well, apparently we've got a thermonuclear fusion device.
Huh.
So if that's true.
Yeah, I didn't think we were able to figure that out yet.
No.
But
no.
If we're close, dude, it's just weird. This all comes from one guy, and it's really detailed.
Servant of God 777 says fusion equals stars. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the splitting of the atom is a much more primitive and destructive kind of thing. Fusion, though, that is something that has been thought by many to be impossible, bogus. Well, interesting.
Yep.
Very, very interesting. So we may be closer to the future than we have suspected. D. Lunar Fox, all from a real human. Yes. All from a real human. Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
listen, it has felt like that our the progress that I was just speaking about, that, our leaps and bounds that we made, from say 1947 to, the mid 70s, it seems to, in some aspects, ground to a halt, especially with our space program. Ever since we stopped going to the moon, whether we went there or not, that's arguable. I know we just did the space shuttle thing. Yes, there was a lot of secret space shuttle missions. Some have yet to be declassified, but it just seems like we've kind of stopped. And we've. I know the flying car is your phone, is your mobile phone argument. I understand that, but I've always thought there was a nefarious reason why we stopped, but maybe we haven't, and maybe these are just leaps and bounds that it's gone so fast that they have to kind of introduce them to the public over periods of time, because we do have economy to think about. We're still, relying on fossil fuels, and if you took that away tomorrow, it would just destroy all the economies.
Yeah,
So
that's what they say. So I don't know. And I'm hearing different things in the chat about fusion versus fission. Apex Tyrannus says if we had fusion, we would all have free electricity worldwide. We will probably have it one day by several companies or the ITER, but this guy is an idiot with endless funding by our stupid military. Well, how do you know he's an idiot? We don't know.
yeah.
I mean, it could be gibberish. I don't know, but that's why I throw it out here. I don't have any kind
Tesla
of
had a lot of patents and plans. Unfortunately, he wasn't the best negotiator, people person, and it really, stopped us from getting probably a lot of great technology. I mean, it's arguable, but he had free energy ready to go, supposedly.
allegedly. That's right.
And that got suppressed. A lot of people still believe that. Tesla's fascinating, but he definitely was just it's one of those guys who was really good at his work, just not really good with people.
Yeah.
But David Bowie did play him, which was cool.
I mean, fusion has just not been practical because it's got tremendous heat, magnetic bottles. I mean, it's just not a very practical technology. So if they've got this like little fusion generator, I mean, geez, that would be pretty spectacular. Hail,
Yep.
Katala Laris, good to see you. And by the way, Stan Lee was asking earlier, where's this come from? It's Google patents. Google patents. They have access to all the patents. Apparently, it's amazing, amazing. Chris Persia says you don't need a fusion reactor when Tesla had a means of extracting free energy from the cosmos, yet that was suppressed by Edison. That bastard. Yeah, I don't know. Tesla's interesting. I don't know. I don't know about that. I guess I'd like to see a little more info.
Yeah, the urban legend is what did Edison say? How do I bill it?
Right.
Now.
Little bastard. Greedy son of a bitch, I gotta say. And also, I mean, he basically hired people to invent shit for him. So, let's get real. He was a businessman primarily.
That's what Elon
Nicholas
does.
Yeah, Nicholas Horton with a £5 super chat. Hail, Nicholas! Says, hail, Doomcock and Gary. New Doctor Who Series 12 filming images leaked. Bronze Daleks returning, including a new design Black Recon Dalek.
I saw that. Was that who is that? Sorry.
That's Nicholas Horton.
Nicholas Horton. Okay. Yeah, because TARDIS Zone, his tweets are protected. I was trying to message him earlier. Yeah, I did see that. I actually have a Doctor Who video. I shot an article to Doomcock, which is certainly going to trigger him as it triggered me. And the article was meant to do that, but the article was also, they took aim right at us. So and they besmirched John Pertwee, which I will not have.
They did
yeah, and his Blu-ray just came out, by the way. It's a season 1 Blu-ray collection is available. through Amazon, but buy it on eBay secondhand from somebody, so you're not giving money directly to the BBC.
Well, good.
Yeah.
The Beeb sucks.
The Beeb sucks. The Beeb I used to love the Beeb. I used to
Oh, I
sing the
know.
praises of the Beeb forever. And I can't do that anymore. But yeah, that's when I was reviewing series 11, about halfway through, I said, you watch next year. They're going to bring back everything that'll remind you of old Doctor Who, especially the Tennant era, because they'll need ratings.
Yeah. I've got some Doctor Who stuff I'm going to be releasing soon. I just haven't had a chance with all the Star Wars news.
I know,
and,
right?
It's just too much.
Sucked the oxygen out of everything.
It really has.
That's why I had to kind of break from it today.
Yeah.
But back at it tomorrow.
Well, yeah, it never stops. Thank God, if we're lucky, right?
Yep.
Nicholas Horton, thank you very much for that. Josiah Clinch with a $5 super chat. My friend Josiah, good to see you. He says, please say happy birthday to Isabel Grace as Bugs Bunny.
Happy birthday, Isabel. How's it going? And it's true, I am buds with your Uncle Joey. Yeah. What's up, Doc? Hail to Isabel Grace and happy birthday, sweetheart.
Well, Bugs Bunny popped in just to say happy birthday to Isabel Grace. Happy birthday, Isabel. And yes, stinker. Bugs Bunny is...
Ain't I a stinker?
There you go.
He is buds with Uncle Joey. So you didn't know that, but it's true. It's absolutely true. He's an important guy, your Uncle Joey. Destiny Captain with a $1.99 super chat says, hail Ministers of Mystery. Oh, I like that.
Oh, I like that a lot.
The Ministers of Mystery. Hail Destiny Captain. Hail Destiny Captain. Thank you, my friend, for that. I love his little avatar there, by the way.
It's great.
It's actually a Star Trek project he was working on, like an indie Star Trek film, and that was the badge for his ship.
Yep.
The Destiny. Hail Destiny Captain. Desert Int J something. Desert Inty. $5 super chat. Thank you, Desert One. He says, any thoughts of Snowden saying he couldn't find anything about UFOs and aliens on the servers? He made the comment to Rogan. No, if he's saying that, I believe him entirely. They don't have UFO stuff just lying around everywhere. You'd have to get lucky. You'd have to.
And he was looking at the NSA servers, correct?
Yeah,
so
I think so.
I think those would be. Unless he was had access to the Pentagon, those would be super compartmentalized with military branches, in my opinion.
I wouldn't think that you just, you have to be really lucky to see any of that kind of stuff. So
the NSA was formed in 1947, if I remember correctly,
along with the CIA, precursor of the CIA.
Yeah.
I don't think it was called the CIA yet.
No,
was it?
It was not
OSS or something like that. Thank you, Desert INTJ. I believe Snowden. I believe him. I think.
I certainly do.
He didn't have anything to offer. Psycho Dwarf 9, Legionnaire and friend with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Psycho Dwarf 9. Says, guys, look up your Dorito patent in the circa 1991 UFO board's puddle jumper. I've seen something like that before. Dorito patent? What the hell?
Doritos patenting UFOs?
What? Because they were triangle shaped?
Yeah, well, maybe.
I don't know. I don't get what that means, Psycho Dwarf 9. You'd have to puddle jumper. I don't know what that is. Let me see if I can Google puddle jumper and just see. Yeah. It's some kind of life vest for kids, so it's not going to show up easy. Sorry, man. I don't know what you're talking about, but if you get us some more information on it, we will look into it. Thank you, brother. Josiah Clinch with another $5 super chat. Thank you, Josiah. Says, hey, Harv, want some dirt on Doomcock? What the hell is Project New One? Who is Fran Bitz Clinch? Tell the chat what you are getting the spring, and yes on pics. I don't know. Project New One with Fran Bits Clinch. Tell the chat what you are getting this spring, and yes on pics.
I can neither confirm nor deny anything that Josiah Clinch is saying.
So yes on pictures.
I guess yes
I
on
got that.
pictures, and something about a spring. I'm going to bounce up and down on my spring. Well, obviously the message isn't meant for me.
I understand it.
You want to comment on it?
No. Move on. Just move on.
Very well.
I think he wants you to push the button in this spring. I think that's what the
maybe
message
so.
was.
It's very confusing, and I'm a little concerned, but I'm just going to move on because I'm just going to move on.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. Yes. One toke over the line, sweet Jesus. Tyron Beard with a $5 Australian super chat. Cheers, Tyron Beard. He says, "Hail, Gaza and Doomsy. I've seen one UFO in my life. Nothing can move that fast or could be that maneuverable. Yes, stoned, but 3 of us saw it." Well, so he was stoned at the time. He altered his mind, but he was able to. 3 people saw it.
Yeah, if 3 people saw it, you can't have a shared hallucination. I saw some weird stuff, and plus being stoned, you're not unless it's unless somebody puts something a little extra in your hippie lettuce. Well, it depends. I haven't smoked any of the weed of today, which is all synthetic. But back in the old days when weed came from the ground and it was just weed, you didn't really hallucinate.
No, you don't hallucinate, do you?
No.
It's not a. But it's interesting, Gary. It's very interesting because, Tyron is saying basically he saw this thing and 3 people were with him and he was stoned at the time, but he saw it. Well,
did you get a picture?
I guess he didn't get a picture. But the thing is, Gary, when I saw my UFO, I was kind of effed up. I was on the way to the dentist. I was being driven to the dentist. And I was heavily on Valium, which is, I don't know. Is that a coincidence? It still showed up on the phone. I took 2 pictures, so it was there.
Alters your perception.
My altered mind have anything to do with it?
That's a possibility.
How though? What would that mean? What the hell would that mean? Because why would it then show up on a picture? Does it say something about the nature of our universe and consciousness?
It might.
Maybe.
Well, that's the thing that we talked about. That's the thing I used to think about as a dumb 16-year-old on acid. I would think like, well, if the brain is like a radio, am I just tuning into a different frequency right now? Because being on acid, it feels like you go behind a veil, right? And you're in two existences at once. Sometimes you just feel like you're a little apart from the rest of humanity, but you're also there. And I used to think about that shit all the time. If your brain is just a receiver and it's all our perception, then yes, if you can alter your perception, you might start seeing things that weren't there, and maybe the camera can pick it up because it's based on your perception.
Yeah, well, maybe Mr. Ragno is saying it wouldn't alter the phone's perception, though. But my point is, what if it does? What if it does? What if, well, I say it, that we are living in a non-dual reality where all things are essentially a non-dual consciousness, meaning that it has no opposites. There's nothing. It's like being unitary, except saying unitary is even acknowledging duality. I mean, there's no way to linguistically express it. But if I am the UFO, if I am the car and the phone and the sky and all of you, then alterations in my consciousness might alter consciousness on a universal scale, because there is no sense of size or scale in non-duality. So, it may be that all these things of, Bigfoot encryptids and Mokili Mbembe, they may blink into reality and blink out of reality according to the observer. You
Yep.
know, if indeed we are not individuals that are separate dualistic entities, but if the entire thing is a non-dual process that is going on simultaneously, and these kinds of things can pop in and pop out.
Huh.
Just an idea, just a thought.
Is that like so in the Matrix,
Right?
it was, how do you bend the spoon? Like, you are the spoon. Am I
Yeah.
remembering that? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. There you go.
The Atlantean says quantum mechanics states the observer can change reality, so maybe we can change the perception of the phone. And Mr. Ragno says quantum entanglement. Absolutely. If all matter erupted in a big bang, then all matter is quantumly entangled to some extent.
Yep.
Think about that.
Or it doesn't matter. Sorry.
Dilbertson says, so what you're saying is that YouTube unsubscribing your viewers is actually your fault for actualizing your own reality.
Oh,
Yes. When I get depressed and down on myself, then I lose subs. It's just the way it is. I think it's true. I don't know. I have no idea.
I think YouTube is going to be cleaning up here pretty soon. In the next, they said over the next 5 days, they're going to be getting rid of bots or whatever. Yeah.
What bots ever subscribe to my fucking channel? Come on.
I know it's a bunch of horse. You know what? They talk about cleaning up old channels. I've got a 10-year-old channel I haven't put a video on in 10 years, and it's still around. They haven't cleaned that one up yet.
Right.
I'm glad, because they've got my very first video I put on YouTube was a little baby, my little Logan when he was a baby. It was night vision. I was using my night vision video camera for the first time, and I went in, snuck and looked at my kid when he was sleeping.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
That could be spooky.
It is.
Should have opened his eyes and they were glowing and say, "You will be absorbed."
Beelzebub.
Scary.
Beelzebub.
Classic Comics with a $5 super chat and a very alarming one. Shit. Says, have you read about the quantum computing breakthrough by Google?
Oh no.
Exciting and worrying to know that Google has that kind of tech. Don't trust them with it. I have not heard anything about the quantum computing breakthrough by Google. Has anyone in the chat heard about this? This is alarming.
It is. The last thing we heard about was that chess thing, right? That you brought up.
Right. Well, it was actually Go.
Go. Okay.
That's even worse. That they've got a computer now that could beat masters of Go masters.
Go. Crazy game, by the way.
Mike D'Souza is asking, if non-duality is true, what caused the perception of separation? It's deliberate. It's deliberate because this entity, this non-dual consciousness, has decided to manifest in a reality that is has the illusion of being non-dual in order to have some fun, to take it's like going to, why do we go to a movie? Why do we go to a video game? I mean, it may be all the props and all the characters and playing out this imaginary scenario where there's stakes, where people lose, where things die. All of these things are phony concepts that are just a hell of a lot of fun and amusing for a consciousness for which none of these things pertain.
I think Watchmen portrayed that pretty well with Dr. Manhattan towards the end, where he got so detached. Then he found undetached through the miracle of a Silk Spectre's, of her coming about. And then getting redetached with Ozymandias's plan. And then he's like, I'm going to go off and create my own life for kicks.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's a good representation of what God might be, or the master of reality. But the answer I was going to give was your mama.
Your mama, exactly. Yeah, I like that. In the chat, we're having a lot of people with some feedback on the this quantum stuff. IBM is calling Google liars. So we'll see. LOL says
And
Apex Tyrannus.
Apple called him a dumb face.
No, ouch.
Yep.
Good night, Kelvington. Thank you for being here. Loquacious Primate, you're quite correct. The delusion of separation is necessary. Otherwise, it's like trying to play a game of checkers against yourself. Exactly. It's like the ultimate virtual reality game, in a sense, in a very rough analogy. So Dilbertson says, Google's quantum computer, don't worry, not a breakthrough. Anyway, work on quantum resistant crypto is well ahead of even theoretical quantum computers. It's all good news. Okay. Well, I feel relieved then. That's very good. Matches Burn says the Google quantum computer thing is being overblown. It's capable of 63 qubit calculations. IBM is a commercial circuit-based quantum computer that you can buy now that's about 20 qubits. Well, still though, I mean, it's interesting.
Can I get a good live stream connection on it though? That's the question.
Yeah, can you? Or will they say it's your modem?
Yeah.
It's your router.
Or the hub.
They're so full of shit.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that. It's not great. Dilbertson is saying, not saying 63 qubits isn't progress, but still so far to go. And Dave Bob says, I think, therefore I am. And not only does Dave Bob think, but he also drinks moonshine. So
therefore he really is.
I'll leave that to you. Thank you, Classic Comics. Servant of God 777 with a $5 super chat. Thank you, oh servant of God. It says crap. That's both a Starship drive and a defense shield. Yes. If this gentleman is actually telling the truth. If old Salvatore Paez, then he's got it all. He's got it all. Now, it'd be interesting. It just is suspect that somebody would come up with the whole package like that, unless they had a spaceship and an alien helping them out. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's worrisome because if we're working on this stuff and they're obviously going to use it for defense, quote unquote, applications, that means they're going to want to use it someday, which bothers me. But it seems like this is way beyond us to me.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but I think that
it's very interesting that one man would crack the code and come up with everything we need to have functioning Federation starships.
He's Einstein and Tesla wrapped up into one.
Yeah,
he would be world famous. He'd have reality shows, and
it's absolutely insane.
Michio Kaku would be making his coffee.
Yeah,
and,
it's true. It's true. And Neil deGrasse Tyson,
be washing his car.
Yeah, basically. Red Monarch with a $2 super chat says, she blinded me with science. Good heavens, Miss Sacramoto, you're beautiful. He says, hail Nerdcock. Hail Red Monarch, sir. Yes, she blinded me with science.
Mm-hmm.
Science is good. Science is good, or can be, when it's not abused by mad scientists and such, but or governments
or evil overlords who are going to take over the world.
Well, that's not abuse. That's proper use. That's
practical application.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm
sure Dr. Doom sees it that way, and so does Dictor Van Doomcock.
Yes.
The greater good.
Loquacious Primate with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Legionnaire Loquacious Primate, who says, I try to remain open-minded with tech, but these patents kind of seem like someone using science concepts to exploit a public largely ignorant of how they actually work. If real, he must demo a prototype. Well, I agree, of course, but like that guy was swearing in the affidavit, in the rebuttal to the rejection, swearing that this thing is operable. So, I mean, when you've got something that sensitive and secret and high tech, leap years, away from, other people
Yeah.
I can't really imagine them lugging it down to the patent office and showing it to some dude, you know. But your point is well taken, Loquacious Prime.
Yep.
I understand what you're saying. I do believe, yeah, you've got to demo a prototype before I'll give it entirely credence, but it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. And Loquacious Primate also says with another $5 super chat, I know prototypes can be financially difficult, but if they work, he must band together with others to gain the resources because these would change everything. Well, I mean, he can't band together with others because the Navy would not allow it. I mean, this is basically, I mean, he's working for the Navy, right? So they're not really going to allow him to team up with a gang of scientists and share everything kumbaya style. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I just don't think that's going to happen. But Loquacious Primate, your point is well taken, sir, and I do appreciate it. Trooper Bear FN 2525 with a $2 super chat. Hail Trooper Bear says, what if the Vorlon species is real? Zahadoom, anyone? Well, the Vorlons, maybe so. I think we had a Vorlon surveyor come through our solar system recently named Oumuamua. So I'm a little worried about that. But, you know, if our highway is going to be demolished, I hope that they will do it quickly and it won't drag on for years. You know, I'd rather not have that hanging over my head for years. Let's just plow it over, boys. Just be efficient, will you? Dreary Nitpicker, $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Dreary One says, I never believed in UFOs until I saw one myself 2 times. One in Paradise and Sacramento Airport, California. 3 lights, triangle shaped. No, I wasn't high. Ha ha. See?
That day.
That day. You know, LSD flashbacks can come back, you know, but no, I'm just kidding. Drury Nitpicker, yeah. I mean, I waited my whole life to see a UFO, and I saw one that one day. Got a couple of pictures of it. Until you've actually seen it for yourself, you can't really understand how weird it is. Really weird. And I was already kind of messed up, but thank God I hit that camera. Thank God I hit that camera.
Yeah. That's why I always try to keep one handy. You never know, especially when I go on road trips and stuff.
Right. Absolutely. Lori Wilson with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Lori. She says, hail to my 2 favorite YouTubers. Yay. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
Appreciate that. She says, what do you think of the growing flat earth believers? I think it's a crock of shit. I'm just not even gonna, it's total bullshit. Total bullshit. Not flat at all. Gary, you don't disagree, do you?
I do not disagree at all.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry, dude.
I've been in a plane. I've looked outside the plane.
Yeah. No, nobody has ever explained where the edge is, what happens, why we loop back. Come on.
I mean, believe in a lot of weird shit, and I don't believe that.
No, no. So I don't know what to tell you. The growing flat earth believers, well, I think it's the whole thing of fake news, which I, expressed contempt for on the last, ExoZone. It's like some news, sure, some news is fake. Some of everything is polluted. But when you abandon the entire notion of objective truth and fact finding, then it leaves you completely unmoored and unanchored. And I just really think that this trend to just automatically dismiss anything that doesn't fit in with your belief system is fake news when, just because it's on the media, that's just too dangerous. I mean, yes, have a skepticism, but don't just automatically go and say fake news about anything that conflicts with your worldview, because your worldview can be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When you reject evidence, actual evidence presented to you by scientists, that's a problem. I have a problem anyway with it.
Mm-hmm.
Servant of God 777 with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Servant of God, again. Says flat earth, no. Oblong earth, yes. Due to gravity. Yes, that's true. It's not perfectly round. That's absolutely true. No question about it. Echo Base Network with a $4.99 super chat again. Thank you, my friends. Says thoughts on Edward Snowden searching for aliens info on government networks and finding nothing. It was on the Joe Rogan show. If you have said I missed it, yeah. Well, I believe him. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that there is no evidence. It doesn't necessarily mean that the governments aren't hiding something. It just means he didn't look where they were hiding it. And it doesn't surprise me. It would be highly compartmentalized, and it certainly wouldn't be all over the fucking place where everybody who works in the NSA could see it. It's going to be quite classified, and yeah, I'm not surprised at all that he couldn't find it. Echo Base Network, not at all. Thank you for that super chat.
Who was that? The British guy with Asperger's who hacked.
Yes,
his name was Gary, and he hacked NASA and found all kinds of stuff, the non-terrestrial things, and the government was after him forever. And again, he was just a guy with OCD and Asperger's. Was able to hack an account pretty easily due to some very poor security on our part. And they wanted to throw him away for like life. It was cruel, and I'm glad that he's not. And Dolan had him on a few months back.
Really?
Yeah. And he found some shit, and that's why the government was coming hard for him. So look into that case. I can't remember his last name. I'm sorry.
I can't either. But you're saying
non-terrestrial. He's the one who found the non-terrestrial
agents
or something.
Yeah. How cool is that, dude?
I know, right?
Alternative 3, folks.
Gary McKinnon.
Right, there we go.
Scottish systems administrator and hacker who was accused in 2002 of perpetrating the biggest military computer hack of all time. Although McKinnon himself states that he was merely looking for evidence of free energy suppression and cover up of UFO activity and other technologies potentially useful to the public. On the 16th of October 2012, after a series of legal proceedings in Britain, Home Secretary Theresa May withdrew her extradition order to the United States. So he's cool. He's 53.
Yeah, excellent. Very good. Thank you, Gary. All right. Trying to get over. Oh, Mexican Iron Man is here. Mexican Iron Man with a $19.99 super chat. Thank you, my Legionnaire and spy. And he says, hail the outstanding research work of Overlord Doomcock and San Fran Emperor and Governor Gary. Say the word, and Mexican Iron Man shall initiate covert action to Area 51, posing as just another Mexican crossing the desert. Basil?
Do it.
I care about you, Mexican Iron Man. You're a good.
Just go to Vegas instead.
Okay. Okay. I bid you meet us all in Vegas, Mexican Iron Man. Yeah. Let's go have some fun.
Well, yeah, you know what? Jeremy's going to go do the car video. Why don't you just keep driving to Vegas and I'll meet you guys there. And we can meet. Dude, I will do it in the drop of a hat.
Oh,
I don't even have a hat. Like I'll buy a hat to drop it.
Wow. Serious ass road trip.
Yes.
With
YouTubers in Vegas. What could go wrong?
Oh, Jesus. It's like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas too. Yes. The cockening.
As your attorney, I advise you to buy an ounce of cocaine.
Oh, that is a great book, by the way.
It is a great book.
God, he was fantastic. Hunter S. Thompson. Mexican Iron Man, do not do that. Hold tight. Let's see if we can arrange something more fun and make that happen. Hail Mexican Iron Man, one of my ministers of espionage and covert action. Thank you, my friend. Servant of God 777 with a $5 super chat again. Servant of God, you've been very kind today. And he says aliens are more often referred to as extra dimensional. So they're extra dimensional. Servant of God thinks that they're coming in from other dimensions rather than other planets.
I lean towards that. Well, that or
at least in some instances.
Yeah. There's no way they're just going from point A to point B through space.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things about Led Zeppelin that always makes me laugh you know, in oh my god, I'm forgetting what it's called. The song, but when they sing, I am a traveler of both time and space.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, so we all are.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's supposed to sound deep.
We move through space.
Cashmere.
And yes, Kashmir, and to do that, we have to move through time too. I don't know what this is, you know, it's a great song, but that lyric is kind of funny. It kind of cracks me up.
Well, then he gets the whole. I mean, there's a lot of Lord of the Rings references that are. Just
Oh well, I
weird.
love that. I love that. But Gollum and the evil one crept away with her.
Misty Mountain Hop. It's one of my favorite songs, Misty Mountain Hop.
I love Zeppelin. I'm just making fun of that, but I love Zeppelin a lot.
Hell yeah,
a lot.
I do.
Awesome stuff.
Yes, they ripped off a lot of their songs from other people. Don't care. They executed the end product perfectly.
Well, it's like George Harrison got sued and they prevailed against George Harrison when he did you know, My Sweet Lord, which is one of my favorite songs. Oh my God, I love that song. I love George Harrison. But, you know, basically they made the case, the Shondells, he's so fine. Oh, he's mine. It's just like my sweet Lord.
Yep.
Oh, my Lord. So, oh, well, but I'm glad he wrote it. Thank God. And because I love both those songs, but I think My Sweet Lord is superior. All right.
It is. I totally agree with you.
I'm a Beatle maniac. It's a fucking great song, man. And the way he's making this appeal to universal, you know, awareness of divinity and stuff. And I just love
it. I miss George Harrison. Love George Harrison. Yeah, I went through in my teenage years like a serious Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd phase, where those were pretty much the only three bands I listened to for an entire year, on constant rotation. And George Harrison is my favorite Beatle. So.
Yeah, well, I can see that for sure. I mean, my God, you know, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Something is
the best song.
You know, funny thing about song. I'm sorry, we're getting off on music here. We you know, in the ExoZone, you know, we're all damaged here. We wander a little bit. Yeah. Not all who wander are lost. Some are drunk or stoned or just lazy. But but the thing about George Harrison on Something, you know, he basically stole that opening line from James Taylor. James Taylor was at Abbey Road and was recording his famous song, As Something in the Way She Moves, It Looks My Way and Calls My Name. And he liked that. And when he went over into the booth,
better than James
George
Taylor.
Harrison was sitting there listening. So he was totally freaked out, you know, Jesus Christ. I mean, this was early in his career, you know. But then, lo and behold, you know, something in the way she moves.
And he's like, son of a bitch.
I saw him in concert just a few months ago, actually. It was awesome. And he said, and now here's a song that George Harrison liked so much, he wrote it twice. I love George.
Great. And that is my all-time favorite George.
Oh, that song?
Yeah, Something. Yeah, I love Something.
Oh, I love it too. I believe it was Clapton played the guitar on While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yep.
However,
yes, he did.
Clapton. Jesus Christ, these people. Can you imagine?
I went to Abbey Road Studios when I went to London. You can only see they don't do tours or anything, but you can, you know, it was me. I was by myself. It was me and a Japanese tourist, and we couldn't understand each other, but we hung out for a half an hour, taking, you know, he would walk across the street and I'd take a picture of him and I'd walk, you know.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was cool, but dude, it's a busy street. You got to be careful. It was fun. It was fun.
That's interesting. I could talk. You know what? We should probably do like just a music show sometime.
Oh,
just
totally.
talking about music, you know, just you and me, just kicking back and talking about lore and I bet we know a lot about rock and roll and stuff between the two of us.
I worked in record stores for over a period of a decade at the warehouse. It was like corporate, but it was a lot of fun. That's where I kind of built the whole pop culture thing because you know, I ran the VHS. I used to hand out the VHSs and the beta and the Betamaxes too. I would be in the video department at the warehouse. Yeah, it's fun.
I would love to do an analysis, an exegesis of the dystopian future presented by Richard Starkey, aka Ringo Starr, in his song "Octopus's Garden." It is a tale of extreme paranoia. It sounds like happy, but if you analyze the lyrics, it's actually presenting a dystopian future. I mean, where it's like, you know, we would sing and dance around because we know we can't be found.
Dun,
I
dun,
mean,
dun.
you know, it's like,
Yeah,
we would be so happy, you and me, no one there to tell us what to do. I mean, there's all these like, you know,
yep.
talking about, you know, nobody could see us. It would be knowing we're happy and we're safe, happy, and you know, it's just. It's kind of creepy. I mean, he presents
really
all these
is.
happy things, and then it's like it's implying that there's hunter killers on the surface of the ocean, like trying to eradicate the last dregs of humanity. And Ringo is it. We're doomed.
Ringo will survive us all.
All right. I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologize. I could talk about music forever.
I'm apologizing to the chat that came here for.
Sorry,
for
chat.
ExoZone.
UFOs. Aliens.
UFOs, Eris of Chaos. Hello, my dear. Hail, Eris of Chaos. Hail, Geeky Candy. All right, let's go. Loquacious Primate with a $5 super chat says a demo of room temperature superconductors should be possible to finance since it's nothing quantum computer manufacturers would devour each other over. I'd love to see it. I mean, if we could have a room temperature superconductor, geez, I think it'd be absolutely fantastic. Loquacious Primate. They should put up and shut up, but I tell you what, knowledge, information is power in this age, and people are not interested to share. It probably holds back scientific endeavors at least by 50%. I mean, probably more like 30, 80. You know, like progress creeps because nobody shares information anymore. It's too precious. That's my opinion. Carl Page with an interesting question with a $2 super chat. Could you guys explain the electric universe idea? Can you explain it, Gary, or do you want me to take a shot at it?
You take a shot at it. I know about it. I could not explain it.
Well, a lot of people feel like it's kind of pseudoscientific. I mean, it's basically just emphasizing that you know, all of the universe is electrical in nature. And you know that you know, everything essentially is electric. You know, there's terrestrial electricity, which is, you know, seeing the atmosphere and stuff. There's electricity in space, generated by cosmic plasma as it moves around. You know, 90. This theory is saying that like 99.999% of the universe is plasma. All moving plasmas produce magnetic fields and electric currents. There's space plasma, although outer space is ostensibly a vacuum. It's permeated by solar wind, which is essentially plasma. They're saying that like things like craters are produced by cosmic mega lightning, so that there's lightning out there
instead of the
impacts.
Well, that's interesting. Well, at least as far as the moon is concerned, you and I have discussed how the craters on the moon are a bit different. Like they're like more flat. What you and I discussed that, right? I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know.
So
that's interesting.
I don't know. I mean, it's just an idea. I haven't thought much about it, so I can't. I'm not really an expert. I mean, basically that's it, though. I mean, that's kind of the thing. it suggests also that all stars, including our sun, are powered by an external electrical source, and the behavior of comets is due to their kind of moving through plasmas and their interactions with plasmas and things like that. So, I mean, it's
And
basically
is this
like
plasma like some we can see, some we can't, or
it's well, they're ionized gases. So
okay.
but they're way out in space. I mean, they're basically, it's a very electrocentric view that everything is electricity, and I don't know. It seems a little one-dimensional to me. I mean, I don't know what the chat is thinking about this. Gravity is electric, says Coyote Clone. Some craters are volcanic, some are impacts, says Larry. Planets are either positively or negatively charged, says Cardinal Sin. Good to see you, Cardinal Sin. And by the way, dude,
Cardinal
I
Sin, what
finally
is
got
up?
the package you sent me, brother. It was in the, let me tell you how bad my post office is. It was in the post office in 9 of 5 or something like that. They only gave it to me the other day. So, I mean, they were sitting on it for over a month and a half, Cardinal Sin. So I apologize for that, but I finally got it, and thank you for that. God damn, really annoying. All right, I just wanted to say that.
No, that's we were just discussing the post office. Remember when they were on the brink of death, and thank God for eBay and Amazon that saved their ass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they're underfunded. I
they
think they're
they
understaffed.
are, but it's also really horrible work. I mean, you got to be somebody who's like really into just doing projects and never completing them. Then who was talking? It's one live stream they were talking about the actual psychological studies they did on people who were working at the post office for so long. Basically, your job was never done, and the human consciousness requires accomplishment.
Right.
It's very Germanic, especially
Well,
if you're
dude, that's YouTube.
yeah, God, yes. Oh, yes.
I mean, you just said that, I got a chill down my spine, because it's like, it never stops. It's never like you just achieve something and then it's done. I mean, it never stops. It never.
No, you get your little accomplishments, like your video's up. You
Right.
get about for me, it's depending on how the video does, I give myself like 12 hours to 24, where I feel like I've accomplished something. But at around the 12-hour stage, I'm like, I better get back to work.
Then you wake up in a cold sweat. And,
yeah,
you hit the floor running. So it's. I know.
Yesterday, we were talking about that yesterday. The Watchmen video I was working on, I had the stomach flu, I ate something bad, so I couldn't do my nooner or nothing. So I worked on that video in between like sickness naps. I was like getting sick, and then I fall asleep and I wake. That's why I had a hat on, and I was like, I wasn't trying to pub the hat or anything. I was just not feeling great in that video, but I think I pulled it off.
Yeah.
Okay. And finished it this morning, and that was the cold sweats. This morning was terrible, but now I feel great. I feel fine. So I think it was just bad food. Which
excellent, Gary.
A lot of it up here.
I'm glad you're better, brother, and I'm sorry about that.
It's all good.
Two developments in the chat. John Tonette has made an appearance. Our friend John Tonette is here. Hail, John. Always glad to hear from you. I'm always thinking about Hong Kong these days, and I'm glad you're here, brother. He didn't say much,
doing, buddy,
but he's here. So bless you, John. Glad you are here, my friend. And I want to say, he's got to drive now. Texting while driving, no good. So he can't text. Okay. And Loquacious Primate is saying electric universe is a sort of dumbed down version of philosophical monism or non-duality, but taken too literally with an electrical substrate instead of consciousness. That's a good description. That's a good description. It really is. It's like electricity is everything, man. It permeates everything. Probably why David Lynch was obsessed with electricity in Twin Peaks. It was kind of, yeah. So yeah, I think it's probably it. All right, let's continue on. Geeky Candy.
Hey,
$5 super chat. Geeky Candy has a new channel, by the way.
she does.
It's quite good. I left her a message and I believe I subscribed. I tried to subscribe. I think I have. Anyway, Geeky Candy, thank you, my dear. And one of my Legionnaires, by the way, says best entertainment on YouTube. Love catching you boys live, and gave us a little heart. So wow, I'm very, very thrilled. Thank
Thanks,
you,
Geeky.
Geeky Candy.
Your
Hearts to
hat
you.
is on the way, by the way.
Oh,
She's got a hat.
Sent
She's
her a
good.
hat.
Yeah.
Excellent. Bonks with a 10 euro super chat. Thank you, Bonks. Says first time I'm watching the ExoZone. I'm happy that it is not all about aliens. I watched Avengers and I'm afraid of living things out there, but science is completely my thing. Well, hail Bonks, and got a cute little cat emoji here. Thank you, Bonks, for being here. I hope you're enjoying yourself. We do, however, talk about UFOs and things that
a
go
lot.
up in the night. And
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it after we're off the air.
okay, we'll talk about it off
next
the
week.
air.
Yeah. But I would like to do very much an ancient like full on get into the weeds of the ancient civilization debate, pro and con. We want to look at both sides of the issue. But I'm a big believer in that. Love it. Although Graham Hancock's latest book is very good, but it's kind of anticlimactic after his previous, the last, I'm blanking on it. Not Fingerprints of the Gods, but Magicians of the Gods was like an epic book. It was so good. It's hard to follow
Jam
that
of
up.
the Gods.
Yeah, Toe Jam of the Gods. Fingernail clippings of the gods.
So Trina Guthridge with $1.99 a super chat. Thank you, Trina, saying hi, y'all. What happened to the spooky ExoZone? LOL.
Yeah,
I guess we need to have a spooky ExoZone. We got
do.
Halloween coming up, right?
We got Halloween coming up. That's what I want. But that's my anniversary. So we might, if we can do it like another day or
yeah,
like,
let's do that. Let's do it. Well, why don't we do it the day before?
We can do it the day before. And what I'll do is
it's on your channel, so we could do it the day
before.
So
instead of a nooner, we'll do ExoZone and we'll do it the day before and we'll make it a spooky ExoZone.
Yes, let's do a spooky one. The spooky ones scare me, dude. No lie.
Yeah.
I hate Clyde Lewis when it's this time of the year on ground zero. Because I listen to Clyde Lewis when I'm going to sleep.
Yep.
And when Clyde Lewis starts getting into this goddamn, stuff in the closet stuff, and
it's also how he records his voice.
Yes.
It's like echoey.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it kind of lends
to turn it off. I have to turn it off. I'm sorry. I admit it. It's just I'm very, very intelligent and I have a high imagination. So when people start whispering shit to me when I'm semi-conscious, it messes me up. So I have to turn it off, I have to say. But let's aim to scare some folks this Halloween, folks.
Yeah.
And try not to scare each other.
Try.
So, we'll try. God damn it. Servant of God 777 with a $5 super chat. Actually, two $5 super chats in a row. Thank you, Servant of God. He says operable plus military equals they're using it at the first nanosecond. Betting money says they have starships. Also, not an actual bet. Calm down. Yeah, I operable in military, they're already using it. They're only now applying for a patent. I guess even they have to apply for a patent, which is interesting. Very interesting.
That is interesting.
I guess they have to do it defensively in case some other Cesario Salvatore Paez is out there that comes up with the same thing, rival alien faction or something. I don't know. But thank you, Servant of God, very much for that. He says also, Space Force was already real. Heck, Trump probably wanted to be able to give them medals and let us have it. The swamp freaking out makes sense yet? Well, maybe so. Actually, he kind of shut up about the Space Force, and people were speculating that it was because, people were making fun of him. But actually, he may have shut the fuck up because it's real and they didn't want to talk about it.
Yep.
You know, he may not have even known about it. I don't think they tell presidents about this stuff.
There's a lot of stuff they don't tell presidents. I think
No.
that's well known at this point.
So at this, you know, he might have been saying, you know, we're going to do a space force, and he might have like pulled him in a room and said, "We already have a space force. Shut up, Ace Force Bay." Jesus Christ! And it's like, I'm sorry. So you know, they don't tell president stuff. I don't think they told you know, Clinton stuff. I don't think they told Obama stuff, or
They didn't tell Clinton anything.
no, they didn't.
I think they told GW stuff because he probably forgot it. You know, but they didn't tell Clinton anything because that dude's he'll find some, you know, some 16-year-old will get a little sweet nothing whispered in her ear, and then they got off everybody.
Yeah, I know it. I think I don't think they told George W. Bush. I don't think so.
No, I don't think.
No, I think Reagan knew though.
Oh yeah,
Reagan knew. There's a famous anecdote where he was having a screening of, it was either Close Encounters or ET at the White House with Steven Spielberg, and Spielberg was there, and he's sitting next to the president. And during the movie, the story goes, Reagan leaned over to Spielberg and said, "There's only a handful of people in the room that know how true this is."
Yep.
And Spielberg was like, "Huh?" So, yeah.
Say what?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And he also used that United Nations, that famous, you know, if you know,
right.
If an alien race came out from outside the earth, we'd all forget about our problems or some shit like that.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
Well, Nancy, just say no.
We'd all come together and in an effort to repel the alien invaders. So, yeah, he was in on it. He knew it. Josiah Clinch with a $5 super chat. Thank you again, Josiah, who says, "I know you hate the show. What did you think of the NX class or the refit of the ship? I love the NX refit." Okay, so in Enterprise, the NX, you know, class ship, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I liked it. It just, I don't know that it really would have led to, it wouldn't have evolved, you know, to, that's my problem, Josiah, with Enterprise, is it never felt like a proper prequel. You know, I never believed that it was going to evolve in a way that the Enterprise would have sprung from that technology. You know, the bridge looked wrong. The uniforms looked wrong. Everything looked wrong. And I don't know. Now the refit, it was moving towards the classic lines that we like. So I liked it better. I don't hate the show. I just don't think a whole lot of it.
It got better as it went along.
Right.
Yeah. Oh God, I hated that show when it came out.
It was a failure. I mean, again, it's not entirely Enterprise's fault.
No.
When you have set this goddamn this precedent that Vulcans were in space, all over space, with warp drive before we ever got there, and everything that we're doing they've done before, it just totally ruins the show. Period. Just totally ruins the show. So it just was doomed from the start.
Kind of was.
It was doomed from the start. And then it doesn't help things when you've got fucking Klingons running through an Iowa cornfield in the fucking first episode, and then they're going to go ahead and take those Klingons back to their home world. Well, there goes our first encounter with the Klingons. It happened in an Iowa cornfield. Brilliant. Good job.
Yeah.
So
well done.
Yeah, to some extent I hate it, but it's conceptual. You know, the cast and the writers were infinitely better than Star Trek Disgracery. Infinitely. So Brother Malachi with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, "I wish you two would speak to Apex Tyrannus for a bit. He's poking holes in a lot of these blueprints and techno babble." Well, I've been reading stuff off of Apex Tyrannus in the chat. I've been trying to. Apex Tyrannus is a very smart guy, and
yeah,
I've hit him up a couple times here. So you know, I don't know. Look, I mean, if you guys are reading this in the chat, then he's communicating what he wants to communicate, and I'm glad to. And if he has anything to say, you know, I'm happy to read it. But you know, we've got a lot of stuff going on, brother.
Yeah.
So I just trying to
ignore. anything. Yeah.
We're not looking to ignore him. We're just
No.
got
If
a
he's
lot
poking holes in it, that's what it's there to be.
Yeah.
The poke away.
poke away, brother.
Yeah, we don't and that's one of the big things here is we don't if you don't believe this stuff, that's fine. I mean, like it's good to be skeptical about that stuff. I'm really skeptical about a lot of the UFO stuff, and I think that needs to happen more. That's why I like people like Richard Dolan. He'll tastefully agree with somebody, but still poke holes in an argument or still go, I don't know.
Right.
He's properly open-minded, but still believable and sane. Doesn't get into like I was transferred into a different body and went to Mars as a younger person, and that stuff kills. And yeah, I'm talking about Corey Good, who I used to like a lot, and I don't think he's a bad person or anything. I think he just got caught up in something. How do I relate it? I'll relate it to like PewDiePie just did a video about a YouTuber who used to do parody songs. It was pretty damn funny. But then his channel wasn't getting as much. I wouldn't say losing traction. His channel was still doing well, but it wasn't doing great all the time, which I think YouTubers get trapped into. And he struck this deal with China, and now he's like singing translated Chinese songs. And I think he's popular over there as a joke. But he takes it seriously, and he's moving over there and he's like singing songs that praise the government of China and stuff. But he's just a blonde-haired YouTuber. He's making sick money still, but I think it was Vox did the documentary, but PewDiePie did a video. Don't watch the Vox documentary. Watch PewDiePie's video. It's better. And I think that happened to Corey Good. I think Corey Good started losing traction within the field. And he felt like, this is just my opinion, by the way, and my speculation. He felt like he was losing traction, and he had this outlandish claim that got a lot. He was doing some Antarctica stuff that was really interesting. Sorry, my dog's going off. That I was even into, but then he went like completely off the rails. I was listening to his Antarctica stuff all the time, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah." But then he got into Corey Good, and I say Corey Good. Got David Wilcock. Sorry, David Wilcock and Corey Good is who I'm talking about. And I think both of those guys are, in my opinions, complete frauds, and they to the point where I think they might even be in here for misinformation and to make the whole movement look bad.
Interesting. Okay. Well, dude, thank you for that, and I appreciate that perspective.
Yeah, that's that. When I talk about I'm pissed off at the UFO field, that's it. That's what I'm pissed off.
Yep.
And the Tic Tac thing has divided a lot of people too, but
I don't know how. I mean, it's the Navy saying it, so I don't know what the hell there's to be divided about. But
they're saying it's just the Navy's faking it. Like it's just all fake, and these pilots are lying, and
why?
I don't buy that for 1 second.
No, I don't buy that either.
I wish Joe Rogan would just do UFO and paranormal stuff. He's so good at that at his interviews. I know he does the ultimate fight. I'm going to sound lame, but I don't know anything about mixed martial arts or ultimate fighting. I know he's like really into that, or he's some announcer or something in that, but I'd rather he do like I wish he'd interview Randall Carlson every day. I would watch it every day. It's so good.
Sounds good, brother.
It is.
I hope we get some people to interview at some point.
Yeah. I gotta, you and I both have, it's not it's kind of a problem. It's just something we need time.
Time. Yes. Time.
We're one man operation, right. And we don't have a crew or anything. We've got ourselves.
I know.
It's tough.
It's tough. Psycho Dwarf 9 with a $5 super chat with an answer to my question earlier. He says, 1, if the drives could encompass a pothos, it would be towed. 2, at the molecular level, isn't gravity linked with the molecular weak force? Well, I'm sure it is.
I don't know. Do we know much about gravity? I think we know dick.
Not a whole lot. I mean, at least
Yeah.
we don't. I mean, maybe some
Yeah.
scientists do, but I mean, if they've got this ability to generate their own gravity field, this own propulsion, in this patent, maybe they've made advances. I mean, somebody knows something, I think, but we don't. So I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
for
what
damn
to tell
sure.
you. If the drives could encompass Apophis, it would be towed. I don't know. I mean, it has already an enormous momentum. I don't know that encompassing the asteroid with that field would be sufficient to then arrest its kinetic energy and its momentum and redirect it. I don't know. That's interesting, Psychodorf 9. I appreciate that attempt to answer that question. I really do. Nina Fabiano with a
Nina.
$5 super chat. Hail Nina says, I second Trina's question. So again, they want a spooky exozone. So we need to bring the spook.
We gotta get spooky stories, but they got to be good spooky stories. I mean,
I
like
know.
based in reality, not creepy pastas.
Yes. Yes, I think we definitely do need that. I want to ask duck on it. Bird of Prey 5.
Yeah.
Bird of Prey 5, I think, somebody sent me something a while back that was extremely spooky, and I've lost track of it. Bird of Prey 5, if it was you, and I feel like it was, would you resend me that? I would really appreciate that. That might make an excellent spooky exozone. And if you'd resend that to me, if it was you, I would really appreciate it. I've looked for it and I can't find it. So if you could, I would appreciate that. So Nina, it's coming. Believe me, it's coming. Dr. Gently Benevolent with a $5 Australian super chat. Thank you, Mr. Gently Benevolent. And he says, this is for that high quality Aussie accent, Lord Doomcock.
Good eye.
Good day, mate. I think you're being sarcastic, but thank you, brother. Cheers to you. I appreciate that. It was kind of a half-ass Aussie accent, but I have to get in the groove of it. I can do Aussie accents.
You got to work your way up to it. Because I fall into Kiwi for some reason now.
Oh,
and I
well,
used
it's
to
a
be
lot
so
easier.
Good.
Kiwi,
Yeah.
I can go all day long. I kick ass for the Lord. It's just all very accentuated.
Yes. Incidental.
But Australia, you gotta back off. You gotta be cooler, mate.
They're way more laid back and shit. Australia is like Southern California, the country.
Right, with deadly creatures every square inch.
Yeah, with giant spiders.
Giant spiders. Ants that'll make you cry. Ants that'll make you board your bowels, mate. Pain. The pain is terrible. Thank you, Mr. Gently Benevolent. I appreciate the compliment and the super chat, however ill-deserved it was. Psychodwarf 9 with a $5 super chat. Again, thank you, Psychodwarf 9. Says, I've seen that ship plan and the boards called it a puddle jumper circa 1990-91. Okay, I've got to look up puddle jumper. We got to check it out, Gary, at some point. Try to find that. Servant of God 777 with two $5 super chats in a row. Thank you, my friend. He says geocentric theory is more plausible than flat earth. Has more holes too. Geocentric theory, like what? That like the earth is the center of everything? No way. Really? He says, to clarify, flat earth has more holes than geometric theory or geocentric theory? So is geocentric theory basically that earth is the center of everything? I mean, you could say that about anything in an infinite space. Any point can be the center. So, I mean, at least that's partly right. Whereas flat earth is completely wrong. So I guess you're right. Geocentric
How could you
theory,
have a base? I mean, listen, you prove it. How can you have a base in the center of a flat earth, people?
yeah.
Science. I love science. That's the power of math, bitches.
Oh, that's the power of math, is it? Thank you, Tilly. Are you Tilly?
I'm Tilly.
Have
Silly
you really?
Billy Tilly.
When we get off, will you Will you show them to me?
Yeah. Oh
I've
yeah.
wanted to see 'em.
Yeah. Show me your tillies.
Yeah.
Um,
Would you show me your tillies? But
yeah.
will you do me a favor, buddy, and hide your beard? I just the tillies with the beard, it kind of kills it for me. Boys,
I-
it just kills it for me.
I'll figure out a way. I'll put on my Cyberman mask
I don't know.
right next to me.
I just have a weakness for curvaceous redheads. So Tilly's the only thing even though I
I
have
do
to turn
too.
off the sound because Jesus Christ, the things coming out of her fucking mouth, they're painful. But yeah.
Pinky swear. We can pinky
Oh
swear
my God.
in a
This
mushroom
is
reality.
the power of math, people. And she looks around like she wants them to cheer, and they're all extras, so they don't know what to do. They're just looking embarrassed. I don't know. It's painful. John Tonette with 2 super chats in a row, a $10 Hong Kong super chat. Thank you, John. He says, hail. And then another $790 Hong Kong super chat. Thank you, John. And he says, weird. So only 2 words because he was on the road and he couldn't really take the time to text. That's good. Safety first.
Safety first.
But
Try to
God
Google.
bless you, John. Hail and weird. That's pretty much the ExoZone right there.
Yeah, I tried to Google puddle jumper UFO and nothing came up. That's how
I
has
did
nothing
too.
come up?
I don't know.
I got puddle jumpers workshop nursery in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Nothing come up.
Psychodorf 9, if you could find a link and send it to us, we'd be happy to look at it.
I think
Very happy to look at
Google is suppressing UFO searches. Straight up.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. RN Feliciano, good night, my friend, and my best to your lovely wife. Thank you for the cookies. Eris of Chaos is saying, oh dear God. Spartan Jeremy, Gary became a redhead. Lori Wilson, OMG. Oh, see. Mega Man MG is quite rightly pointing out, yeah, exactly. Doomcock is living proof of a round earth. Exactly. Exactly.
Settled. It is settled.
It's settled.
Disband, flat earthers. Disband.
Moons of Madness says, hey, easy on the Tillies. That's what Pertree's getting ragged on about.
I want to Doom. Yeah. Doomcock hasn't seen that video yet.
So what?
You got to watch it to
basically
the end.
pound me toing him.
He did. You got to watch the video. It's
right.
a corporate video that he did. For one, it's hilarious. I thought it was a joke. It's super like early 1980s English, very honest about. And I think it was supposed to be an internal corporate video. I mean, it's bizarre, and the end. I laughed so hard I almost drove off the freaking road. And Bleeding Cool was like, if you have sensitive sensibilities, you might not want to. You might want to just check out before the end of the video because it's not very. It's very misogynist. Yes, and it is. But it's again. Another example of some dipwad judging somebody who's dead based on the ideals of the time period, which is disingenuous, it's evil, but it's also how a lot of things get manipulated, and that's at the core of what we are fighting. Again, this is an ExoZone topic. That Antifa panel, that was at New York Comic Con. I watched it all. Oh, Jesus Christ. I want to do a live stream on that. I'd love for you to be a part of it. So hopefully we can schedule that and break this thing down because
think about it.
So you, me, Jeremy, Quarter Black Garrett from Crowder.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think we should do that because it's everything we try to fight encapsulated into one panel. And then I think it's digestible. I think we can like explain to people like this is their argument. So what we want is good entertainment and maybe things be a little less partisan. I'm not saying completely gone. And they're saying that we're bigots.
You're right. Exactly. Which I'm sick of.
Yeah, I'm tired of that. Yeah, I'm just fed up with being called something that I've never. Go find the evidence. They need to start presenting actual evidence of this.
Right. Nina Fabiano has alarmed me in the chat. She said, that's an offensive term, Doomcock. Please stop using it. What? Tillies? Flat Earths? What term is it that
Flat
I'm
Earth.
using? I just want to know. I just want to know what I'm.
Nina's probably giving you a hard time.
Yeah, but I'd like to know what she's giving me a hard time about.
Tilly's probably.
Tilly's?
Yeah.
I like Tilly's.
Isn't there a restaurant called Tilly's? I think there was.
I'll take the breast and the thigh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. She's not saying, so I don't know. Anyway, yeah, no, that would be good. The pound term. Oh, pound me too. Yeah, fuck them. Pound me too. I love it. Woke. By the way, Gary.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've got something that ultimately, I talk about Harvey destroying the world. I have in possession some comedy that I have done that is so toxic, so funny, so transgressive in every single possible way.
Nice.
That when I'm about to croak or anything, I'm definitely going to unleash it on the internet, and it is going to absolutely destroy Western civilization as we know it. I have a thought nuke. This comedy is so fucked up. Believe me, I'm not kidding. Believe me, it's a doomsday machine.
So it's a
doomsday machine of.
So we know if you release that video, it is it. That is it.
That's
it's
it.
Over.
It's got. I gotta. Then I gotta leave. I got to either depart this mortal plane or go to another planet or something. Because holy shit, it's sad. It's sad because it would also make me incredibly wealthy if I did it. But the amount of shit that would happen, it would just be,
yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, but I mean, well, I don't know. I think there's a point. There's a point I'm going to get where I mean, maybe you should just do it. Try it. Who cares?
Well,
I mean,
it would be the end. This is the end.
Yeah.
You don't have any idea how bad it is.
If I can, I don't know I don't know if it. I don't know if anything's hit you collateral damage wise, but since this Anas thing, dude,
I know
it's been nasty, man.
I know
it's been nasty,
dude. It's ridiculous. It's pathetic. Tilly the Clown, Doom joke. Yes, the Doomcock's Day. Yes, exactly. It's coming.
10/10. That's Doomcock Day.
When I'm gonna croak, that's it. That's it, folks. So I won't be going alone. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
I need to get like a lawyer and have this like in the vault, and like if anything happens to me, release the Kraken.
Really?
Because I swear to God, Gary. Oh shit. If you could only hear it, but I don't even dare. I just don't dare.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the funniest fucking.
Was it like something you did like at an open mic, or is it just were you vamping or
it's I can't say.
Gotcha.
I'm telling you.
It's the shit. It's the bee's knees.
It would
of apocalyptic comedy.
Yeah. Someday, I might play you a little bit of it, but you'd have to have shielding, and you'd have to be in a secure room with no recording devices and plausible deniability and stuff like
plausible deniability.
But holy shit, it's so bizarre, so funny. It's
I like that, and that's the kind of shit we can't hear anymore.
I know. Oh shit. I mean,
dude. This John Pertwee thing, once you see it, is a great example of what's gonna. If we have any people in the UK, you might want to leave. Your country's getting weird. I love your country.
Oh God,
I might love your country more than I like mine. I've really been obsessed with the UK. I mean, I like my rights over here; they're way better. But I love the UK. I just do, and it's getting really bizarre over there. They're going to start. listen, this is what's going to happen once everything goes digital over there. They're going to start editing out like what they think will be like a sexist remark from Pertwee or something. They'll start editing out Doctor Who. Monty Python's probably going to get canceled altogether at some point. I think they're already starting to get like somewhat shadow banned over there, and it's getting bad. It's getting bad.
I'm worried about it. I really am.
And some of the best art and comedy, in my opinion, that helped shape my life and my views on pop culture has all come from that country.
Yes. Monty Python, it was like Jesus. I mean, without Monty Python, I wouldn't be me.
Straight up.
Star Trek and Monty Python were the two biggest influences on my life, and then Star Wars a little later. But holy shit, I would not be me without that brilliance. And it just makes me sick. Purple Lady is saying it is already weird. God damn, that
sucks.
That is sad.
It's a great country. The people are really freaking cool.
The thought police is worldwide. Since Hard Maxer. Yeah.
Sucks. It's one of the most polite places I've ever been. Now, granted, I'm in America, so grading curve, but it's like the quietest. The tube stops, or at least this last time I was there was 2005. So, the tubes they're a little smaller than like BART. They're clean. People are nice. They're quiet. I mean, people are like, you can walk up to anybody and get directions, and that's great. I loved it.
Absolutely. And just in case Nina is not kidding, I will say that my objection to Pound Me Too is the insane over the top hyperbole of the thing, which defeats the purpose. And the purpose originally was to give a voice to women who have been abused, really abused, by men. And I am absolutely opposed to women being abused by men in any form, shape, or context. But you've got women who are like Matt Lauer, like taking a woman in his office at the newscast at like NBC.
And
bending her over the desk and regularly like taking her in his office, as opposed to some little wilting flower that's like crying after 20 years because somebody patted her on the behind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Pound Me Too shit that I mock, because you know what? I've been groped and pounded on the behind by women, by older women.
Yep.
When I was doing entertaining, when I would be out there in the world masquerading as an actor and doing like dinner theater and stuff, I would be all sorts of abused by women. They liked my butt. And you don't see me fucking crying about it and whinging. So, it delegitimizes actual trauma. It is disrespectful towards women who have actually been through some horrific things. And if the movement would stop that bullshit and start focusing on actual hurt, then that would be, to me, valuable. So that's why I mock it as it currently exists, because it's gone too far.
It's been used for power grabs, for lack of a better term, and it's been Hollywood is the land of opportunism, and they perfected it, and they took a movement. No movement was ever going to make it in Hollywood if it was generated there, and it had been going on for years. Horrible abuse of women. I don't deny that. And when I worked there for my 2 measly years in post, in the back reaches of post, I witnessed a bunch of stuff. And and I'm not kidding. When I've worked in the auto industry, and Hollywood was the most racist, sexist place I've ever worked, ever. And every person who was a head of departments, their own little Napoleon, and that's the only thing that's respected is power.
Yeah.
And if you show any kind of, genuine niceness, any humanity, that's a weakness down there. They smell blood in the water. They're like, oh, I've got, strategic friends. It's just a nasty place that, and then the worst part about it is if you're a blunt person, you're never going to make it down there. You just, I was not wired to make it down there. Because passive aggressive wins the day. So, and it's a horrible place. So that was taken advantage of, and that sucks. That's what sucks about the whole thing. And now Hollywood's working it out in their narrative, and it's they almost sound like they're blaming fans for what their casting decisions were and what their narrative decisions were.
Right.
And now everything's bad, and it with Star Trek and Doctor Who in particular, the things that offend Doomcock and myself the most is disrespecting what came before and now calling it bad.
Yeah.
That's the main problem I have.
Right. And then by association, because we grew up with that stuff, we're toxic and bad.
Yep.
And it's just, beyond a certain point, you just have to get over shit. And you just have to be a little forgiving and move on with shit. That's basically what I'm saying. But of course, women should always report. I know it's hard. I know it can be scary, but if you have been abused, by God, stand up for yourself and report. But you know what? If some guy patted you on the butt, 10 years ago, and you're crying about it, maybe just, cowboy up a little bit and kind of, clear the floor for people that have actually been abused. Okay. That's all.
Yeah. And don't assume it doesn't happen to guys too, because it does all the time.
Yeah. I was with at a gathering in a family friend, an older woman, went to give me a little kiss tonight and drove her tongue in my mouth.
Got Mrs. Robinson.
I got Mrs. Robinson, and I didn't say anything. I just Jesus. Well, it was kind of creepy, but fuck. Life goes on, folks. Life goes on. I wasn't probed. I wasn't abducted, for fuck's sake. Have some fucking perspective. That's my point. Woke Troll with a $2 super chat. Hail Woke Troll, who says, "Hail Doomcock. Hail Gary. You guys are dangerous." That's true.
We are.
That's
according to our Watchmen live stream. It was the most dangerous live stream.
Yeah. That's what we should do. The world's most dangerous live stream.
Mm-hmm.
The Inquisition.
I've got that screen capped.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's work up some graphics or stuff.
Yes.
Hey, it wasn't us. We were labeled this, and we're going with it. Just like Paul Schaefer was the world's most dangerous band. Well, we're the world's most dangerous live stream.
There you go.
Lady Mist with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Lady Mist, one of my Legionnaires, Gary. Says a stream on real experiences with unexplained phenomenon would be interesting to hear about. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime that we've got one, I've got one saved up. I guess we'll get to it later. We didn't have enough time this time, but anytime anybody's got a real life UFO experience, let us know. Let us know. Abby Olace, actually, I talked about an encounter of hers with the Jersey Devil. And we did that earlier. Remember, we did that.
Yeah. I've got a bunch of emails that I need to use. If we can maybe use a segment or dedicate a show before the end of the year to just, it could be kind of like open lines. We'll absolutely. You and I gather our emails and we just read the emails that we're allowed to.
It's just annoying. If YouTube would just cut this shit out, we're not trying to influence elections or anything. We're just talking about UFOs and stuff. And, if they would let us do it more, we would do a lot more with the ExoZone.
A presidential candidate, you want my vote? Get freaking disclosure. I know it's kind of happening, but real disclosure.
That would be awesome.
Info dump.
Absolutely awesome.
Got my vote. I don't care what party you're part
of. But thank you, Lady Mist. I agree with you entirely. Orville Nation says spooky with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Orville Nation. Orville Nation is great, aren't they?
Yep.
Orville Nation.
Totally.
Good people. Good people. Thank you, Orville Nation, very, very much, my friend. Spooky. We're bringing on the spooky, damn it. Next week, we'll have spooky.
Yes.
Apex Tyrannus with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Apex Tyrannus. Says U.S. Army has just signed a contract with TTSA, FYI. What's TTSA?
To the Stars Academy.
What is it?
That To the Stars Academy. That is that Blink 182 Tom DeLonge organization with Lou Elizondo, and who produced the Unidentified TV show. And I believe Contact almost acted as a sequel to it. So I think there was connections.
Interesting.
Very similar.
Very interesting. Well, thank you, Apex Tyrannus, for that little bit of information. Joe Lau with a $25 Hong Kong super chat. Another Hong Konger. Hail, Joe Lau. Welcome, my friend. Hope you're staying safe in Hong Kong as well. And he says, hail, Gary. Hail, Doomcock. Thanks for ExoZone, Inquisition, etc., etc. Great content and bad to wokeness of Batwhammon and Wokeman. Yes, very bad for Batwhammon and Wokeman. That's a wonderful epitaph to put on Inquisition's grave if ever it dies. Bad to wokeness of Batwhammon and Wokeman. I love that. That's a good day when we can be bad to them. 100%. Nicholas Horton with a £2 super chat. Thank you, Nicholas Horton. Says date we leave the EU is October 31st. Appropriate. I hope the world doesn't end like they're saying it might. I think they got some kind of deal on the table, Gary. So thank God. I mean, if they hadn't, it could have meant global repercussions. Now that they've got some kind of deal, I don't know the details or understand them. I don't really understand British politics very much, but thank God we've got something. So fingers crossed it'll go smoothly, you know?
Yeah.
So does that mean you guys, you Brits out there and Irishmen and Scotsmen, does that mean the UK leaving the Eurozone, the Brexit, does that mean that damn Article 13 and Article 11 will no longer apply to you guys? Since it's not the EU anymore?
I don't think it would.
I mean, I just wonder if anybody knows that specifically in the chat. Any of you guys know that?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I just wondering
Good
because
question.
that would be nice. I mean, that could actually be a wonderful thing to, kind of keep you guys, save you guys from that bullshit. David Rayner says they will never let us leave. There will be a civil war. I don't think that's going to be true. What can they do? Hail, Clan Razor. Lori Wilson says, I agree. There will be lots of skirmishes. Damn, I hope not.
Yeah.
That would be bad. Okay. Well, thank you, Nicholas Horton. I appreciate that. And finally, we have a final super chat here from Lady Mist with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Lady Mist, who says, as corporations find there is big money to be made in the sciences of space technology and travel, the faster it will come about. War and profit have always been big motivators in human achievement. I think you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I hope that they will, start to get greedy. It could really accelerate our progress with space travel and off planet,
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Dilbertson is saying correct, but it's a transitional deal, so it will be subject to change by 2022 when the final deal would be done. And Chris Persia says it would depend on whether or not Article 11 and 13 were adopted in British law.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there already are a lot of people protesting, says Lori Wilson. They will do new elections or stall till it's ignored, says Max Relax. Chili Peen, I love you guys. Love you, Chili Peen, too. And Questor says, hell, ExoZone. I say, hail, Questor. Well, I believe that brings us to the end of our weird journey tonight. Gary, would you like to plug your channel real quick?
Oh, sure. Thanks. I am at Nerdrotic and Nerdrotic Live. You can search them on the YouTubes, and I am about to put up my very first car video on Nerdrotic Live. Well, it's not a car video. It's a 4x4 video. I don't want to disrespect my FJ Cruiser. So,
okay.
It's toxic masculinity on wheels.
Excellent. Tracy Wilborn with a $5 super chat says, cry havoc and let's slip the doom squirrel of destruction. No, Sabu. No, I didn't cry havoc. I just was reading. Oh, damn it. Sabu, down. Stubborn little bastard. All right. Thank you, Tracy Wilborn, for triggering the Doom Squirrel. Please subscribe to my channel, 2 channels. The Harvey Zone is here. You're on it now. Please subscribe, youtube.com/the Harvey Zone. Or if you would be so kind, please subscribe also to my main channel, youtube.com/Overlord DVD. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Doomcock. Oh, and they slipped in a couple more super chats. Apex Tyrannus with a $5 super chat says the Army gave them labs to do experiments on crash material that TTSA has. Google the Fox News article and read it to everyone. Interesting. Did you hear that?
No, I did hear that.
That's
Fox
very
article on TTS.
Yeah, it says Google Fox News article about TTS being able to do experiments on crash material that they had. The Army gave them labs to do it. Boy, they sure are being supportive.
Yeah,
Quite a change from swamp gas.
Sure is. That really tells me something's going down.
Yeah,
like the meteor might actually be like the big threat, and maybe we're trying to find a way to contact them or something.
Yeah. Apophis.
Wasn't it Night Flyers, where it was about them sending a ship trying to contact an alien civilization that wouldn't answer back and never would, because we couldn't, there was like no, I loved the concept and I didn't like the story. But yeah, maybe it's a situation like that where we know they're there, we know where they are, we've been trying to contact them, they just don't answer back. They're like, no.
We don't want anything to do with you, scum.
Yeah.
There goes the neighborhood. Exactly.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Horton with a £5 super chat says a topic for the ExoZone Halloween edition are ghosts and that real, including heaven and hell and why we can't see either.
Ghosts are real. I've that's where I've had an experience. They are real.
Yeah. I've heard that. I've heard that they are indeed real. Love the Doom Squirrel, says Mark Lurseth. Cardinal Sin says Sabu. Coyote Clone says Nerdrotic Live. Sam Donaldson. And Tyron Beard also with a $5 Australian super chat. Thank you, Tyron Beard. Says the earth is flat. Earth is the center of the solar system because of Catholic Church. Fract science because religion. Hail to the chat. Love. Heart. Thank you, Tyron Beard. Yeah, Earth is flat and Earth is the center of the solar system because of the Catholic Church. Frack science because of religion. Well, I hope we're a little bit better than that now. A little bit more advanced than that. But they're telling us a great stream today, Gary, and we've done some good stuff. Ugly Gnome has swamp gas, so.
I've had swamp gas.
Poor Ugly Gnome. It's terrible. Thank you, Mary Ashmead. Thank you, Chris Persia.
Thank you, Mary and Chris.
Thank you, Cardinal Sin, and everyone else. Purple Lady. We've got Hecate's daughter. All of you guys in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you next time. It'll be on Gary's channel. It will be a special Wednesday edition of the ExoZone.
Yes.
And it'll be our Halloween edition. So I hope you guys will tune in. And from all of us here at the Center of the Earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock and Gary Beekler bidding you all, my friends, if I can find the place to shut this off. It gets complicated at this kind of jerry-rigged thing. From all of us here at the Center of the Earth, please stay angry, but be good to yourselves and each other.